Hello, everyone. How's it going? Welcome back to another Watch with Nordic live commentary stream. I'm going to wipe my camera really quick. My camera is looking a little bit foggy. Looks better. Welcome back, everyone, to another Watch with Nordic live commentary stream. Today, we got a big one. It is Game 7 between the Montreal Canadiens and the Buffalo Sabres, all on the line here tonight. So, how did we get here? Well, first off, hello to everybody who was in the chat. I see Orca's here. What's up? Who picks the prelude music? There's a 12-hour long video of just background music on YouTube that I've been playing every stream all season. That's kind of what I use. And if for those who are longtime stream listeners, you've probably heard those same preludes like 1,000 times. Goku's here. What's up? Brian's here. Ben's here. Yes, sir, Ben. It's Finette tonight. What's up, Taco? What's up, Brian? How we doing? Seeing a couple other people in the chat. Q, what's up? Q Dog's here. Good to see all you guys. What's up, Rex? How you doing, man? Hope you're doing good. Grieving following the Ducks elimination. What's up, JJ? What's going on? Bond's here as well. We got the whole crowd here today for Game 7. All right. So how did we get here? Again, it's Game 7 of a 7-game series. Winner, take home tonight. And this series has been really back and forth the entire way. It seems like, as well as that too, it's been a very highly offensive series as well. Buffalo took the first game. Montreal took the next two. Buffalo would win Game 4. Montreal would win Game 5. And then, of course, Buffalo bounced back in Game 6 to force a Game 7 here in Buffalo tonight. Good thing I caught that before we got started here. My apologies. What's up, Matthew? Matthew Coche, how we doing? Hopefully I said that right. Good to see you all here in the commentary. Starting goaltenders tonight, it's going to be the same goalies we saw in Game 6. Only Ukko-Pekka Luukkonen is going to start the game for the Sabres. Jakub Dobeš is back in net after he was pulled in Game 6, which I thought was the right move. I definitely thought that was the right move there for sure, to pull Dobeš in Game 6. And now it's UPL versus Dobeš here in Game 7. It's a loud crowd here in Buffalo. Players are taking to the ice now as we speak. Drop your predictions in the comment section down below. Who do you guys think is going to win Game 7? Drop your predictions in the comment section down below. You can pick the score as well. That's fine with me, but who do you think is going to win Game 7 here tonight? And again, either of these two teams going to the Eastern Conference Finals, facing off against the Carolina Hurricanes. It's been a long time for both since they've been here. What's up, Vic? Greetings from Chile. Nice. Hopefully everything's all good there. What's up, Jane? How's it going? The last time Buffalo went to the Eastern Conference Finals was in 2006, 2007. I was a newborn. So to make everybody feel old, I was a newborn back in 2006, 2007. What's up, Todd? Yeah, this should be a fun game. We'll see if the Habs squeak it out. Yeah, man. All right, national anthem going on right now. Montreal, they made the conference finals, or what I like to call it, the third round in 2020-21. Technically, they haven't made the Eastern Conference Finals since 2014-15, but obviously if you want to count 2021, then they've been there, but it's not really, I don't want to say it doesn't count, but it's not technically the Eastern Conference Finals when you play a team from the Western Conference. So, anyway. Your back hurts? Oh, that sucks, Bond. Yeah, I've had some headache. I've had a headache today a little bit with the heat. We're having a heat wave here in PA, our first real heat wave of the year. You had a newborn in 2006? Oh, boy. Turned 18 in 06? Oh, God. Yeah, starting to make everybody feel old. All right, O Canada going on right now. Yeah, I really wouldn't mind either team coming out of this. I mean, you guys know me. Like, it doesn't really matter to me. I'll still commentate them regardless. It would be nice to see, either of these teams go, in my opinion. I think what the Sabres have done this year has been absolutely phenomenal, but this Habs team is really fun to watch. Definitely if the Sabres want to win this game, first of all, they have to have a better start than they did in Game 6, even though they bounced back from that in Game 6. You don't want to go down 3-0 in the first period again here in Game 7 because I'm not sure if they'll be able to come back from that again. I think if you're Buffalo, you want to score the first goal, and you also need to stay out of the box. The Sabres have been very undisciplined in this series, and not only that, the referees are calling everything under the sun, so you have to be careful and not give Montreal any opportunities on that power play. USA lost today. They had no change. Yeah, I saw that. We were playing you guys, right? We were playing Finland. I think that was what I was going to stream before the IIHF told me, no, you're not allowed to stream the games. Hope Buffalo can pull a win out of their hats. All right, National Anthem coming to a close here in the KeyBank Center. Hit that like button down below. Subscribe if you are new. We are 30 subs away from 6,900. A pretty good night tonight. We could reach that milestone, so hit that subscribe button down below if you're new. All righty, the National Anthems have concluded here in Buffalo between these two teams, and we are ready to get started with Game 7 between the Canadiens and the Sabres. Starting goaltenders here on both sides. On one end for the Sabres, it's been ever-changing throughout these entire playoffs. It was Alex Lyon to start the series, and then UPL got put in. After allowing a lot of goals, UPL was pulled out. Alex Lyon came back in, and then obviously in Game 6, Lyon was taken out, and UPL is back in. He is now starting yet again here for Game 7. On the other side, it's been the Canadiens goalie that has been their goalie the entire postseason long. It is Jakub Dobeš. He becomes the first rookie goaltender to play in multiple Game 7s since Jordan Binnington in 2019. In a single postseason, that is. 7-6 record in the postseason. UPL, 3-2 with an 875. The two best words in sports are Game 7. These two teams looking to advance to the Eastern Conference Final, where a well-rested Carolina Hurricanes team is waiting for them. Game 7 between the Canadiens and the Sabres, and we are underway. Face-off is at center. Samuelson will dump it down low into the Montreal zone. Here's Josh Doan battling forward with Alex Carrier. Grab back by Ivan Demidov. Mike Matheson will get it then and clear it to center. Alex Tuck will dump that one into the Sabres zone. Buffalo will dump it down low into the Montreal end. That is an icing here against the Sabres. I believe Buffalo is icing their same lineup that they had in Game 6. There is a change for Montreal. Joe Veleno is out of the lineup, and rookie Oliver Kapanen has been put in for Montreal. Face-off coming up here now in the Buffalo zone. Montreal has played in a Game 7 in these playoffs. It was against Tampa Bay in the first round. They only had 9 shots, but they won the game 2-1. Face-off blown dead for an offsides against the Habs. What's up, JP? How we doing? Shades of Ken Dryden. Yeah, he's been, I don't know if he's been Ken Dryden level good, but he's certainly been very solid in these playoffs. And again, there was some doubt from some people about Jakub Dobeš heading into this season, but I think he's turned off all those doubters with some of his performances here in the postseason. Battling forward in the Montreal zone is Caulfield and Power. Thompson off the boards then to Uri Slavkovsky, who plays it down low for Lane Hudson. Hudson ahead to Caulfield. Cross-ice pass to Slavkovsky, who will gain the line. And Montreal is offsides again. Oh, God, here we go. A lot of quick whistles here in the opening minute. Buffalo has scored the opening goal in 5 of the 6 games that we have played. And a lot of them have come within the first 2 or 3 minutes of the hockey game. What's up, Sebastian? Puck slides into Alex Lyon. He will make the save. Or, sorry, Luukkonen. I'm going to have to... Luukkonen. Yeah, Luukkonen, not Lyon. Luukkonen. I don't know why I thought that was Lyon. My apologies. Had a pretty eventful day. I'll talk about it more when we have a break. Face-off in the Sabres end, won by Montreal. Here's Carrier, shut on. That one's denied there by UPL. Cleared back down low into the corner. Metsa battling forward with Josh Anderson. Down low, Alex Texier. Getting it back then for Montreal. Texier below the line will loop this one around. He'll chip it down into the Sabres zone. Dahlin ahead then for Zucker. Up top is Carrier trying to keep that one in. Sabres will force it to center. Mike Matheson gets it back for the Canadiens. He is knocked down to the ice. He'll get back up. And now he'll hold it behind the Montreal net. Both teams will get a line change here. Matheson gives it up for Caden Gooley. Gooley through center. He'll dump it down low into the Buffalo end. Cleared back up top. At the point, shot from Jack Guy. Rebounds there for Kapanen, and he's denied by UPL. And the Sabres trying to clear. Grab back then by Montreal. Kirby Dach keeps the pressure on. Up top, Gooley looking for options. Up top then, and forced back to center is Jack-Eye. Arbor Jack-Eye. Chipped off the boards and back into the Buffalo zone. Here's Greenway, who will dump it down into the Montreal zone. Grab back by Hudson. That's not exactly true, Terry. I was born near Philadelphia, but not in Philadelphia. Especially not West Philadelphia. Here's Demidov battling forward in the corner, then in the Sabres zone. Cleared off the boards. Right side, Evans up top to Hudson. Shut on is blocked and played back to center. Montreal gets it back. They will dump it again down low. Bowen Byram throws a puck to center. Here's Tuck into the zone. He's got some room. Pass down low. And McLeod ran out of room. He put it on, but it was turned aside by Dobish. Off the boards, Tuck will force a turnover. Up top, then the Bowen Byram. Byram to power a shot. And that one is blocked. Byram battling forward on the right side. Newhook will throw it into the Montreal bench. And we get a stoppage. Face-off will come back in the Montreal zone. Yeah, that's somebody who definitely needs to really show up here in this Game 7. Alex Tuck for the Buffalo Sabres with no points in this series. And he is in a contract year. This could possibly be his final game as a Sabre. Do I think so? I don't know. He is from Buffalo. I think he would stay. But he could be leaving a lot of money on the line in this game. Here's Samuelson, a shot. That one goes wide. Thompson battling for it down low. Matheson will clear it off the board. Slavkovsky will chip it to center. The Sabres will get it back, though, and regroup. What's up, Goku? Playing Fortnite? Nice. I haven't played Fortnite in forever. Puck is thrown all the way back into the Montreal zone. Alex Carrier will get it back then for the Canadiens. Carrier through center will chip it down low into the Buffalo zone. Just about 4 minutes gone in the opening period. It's Tage Thompson through center. He'll gain the zone, circle it around, back in behind the net then for Benson. Zach Benson broken up then by Nick Suzuki. Benson had a 3-point game in Game 6. Cleared off the boards. Montreal will force this one to center. It's dumped back down low by Metsa. Montreal will regroup. Here's Dobish, who will clear it off the boards then for Suzuki. Shots are 2-1 in favor of Montreal. The Canadiens will hold it here now in their own zone. Mike Matheson off the boards then to Josh Anderson, who will backhand it down low into the Montreal zone. Anderson back behind the net, then the Texier up top. Gooley, a shot tipped in front. They score! Tipped in by Philip Deneau. And the Canadiens have opened up the scoring. It's 1-0 here in Buffalo. That is just the second time of all 7 games we have played where Montreal has opened up the scoring. And it comes from a tip-in from Philip Deneau. His first of the postseason from Caden Gooley and Alex Texier. And it actually went off of his skate in front, it looks like. And the Sabres might take a look at this, maybe. Has to be a distinct kicking motion. And it doesn't look like they're going to challenge this. Face-off won back by Montreal. Canadiens will dump it down low into the Buffalo zone. Crowd was not a fan of that play not being challenged for a kicking motion, but regardless of that, Phillip Danault makes it a 1-0 lead for Montreal. Here's Kaiden Guhle down low in the corner. Battling for it in the corner. It has to be a distinct kicking motion, and I guess they didn't think it was. Yeah, I don't think it was a kick either. Kirby Dach will dump it down low. Yes, they won the game where they did score first. That was in Game 2. Every other game, the Sabres have opened up the scoring. Dumped into the zone by Beck Malenstein. Montreal will get it back in their own zone. Here's Dach ahead then for Jake Evans. Evans to Newhook. Hit off the boards there by Dahlin. Matthias Samuelsson will battle for it down low in the corner as well. Josh Doan gets it back for Buffalo. Montreal, ironically enough, already with the third of the shots that they had in the Game 7 in Round 1. Here's Dahlin up top. Doan a shot. Saved by Dobish. Dahlin gets it back down low in the corner. He'll play it back up top. Dahlin to Doan. Pass back to Ryan McLeod. Sabres pressuring here. Here's Doan into the zone. Behind the net then for Dahlin. He can't clearly get it on his stick. Backhanded it up top to Samuelsson. Matthias Samuelsson broken up by Lane Hudson. He'll take it the other way. It's a one-on-one. Hudson a shot. Denied by UPL. And the Sabres will backhand it off the boards to center. What's up, Davey? How we doing? Montreal will take it back through center. Nick Suzuki will dump it down low into the Sabres end. Suzuki up top. Caulfield denied by UPL. Puck was loose, but I think UPL got it covered up. 6.5 minutes gone here in the opening period. Phillip Danault from Kaiden Guhle and Alex Texier open up the scoring. And it is a 1-0 lead here for Montreal. Whether you like it or not. Some people disagree with the call, but it is what it is. Thank you all for tuning in. I appreciate it. Hit that like button down below. Of course, subscribe down below if you're new as well. We are 29 subs away from 6,900. You got it, Davey. I'll do my best. I think you count that redirect as a kick. Apparently, the Sabres are not allowed to challenge that. The league has to review it. The league has to look at it, which I guess they looked at it and was like, not a kick. So, okay then. Sabres are not allowed to challenge it. But Phillip Danault with his first of the postseason. And again, it's kind of showing shades of the of Game 7 against Tampa Bay, where Montreal opened up the scoring and, you know, things went their way from there. We'll see what happens, though. This game's not over yet. There's been a lot of goals in this series. Buffalo can definitely tie this one up for sure. Challenge would have made it back to 0-0 for sure. Yeah, I think it probably could have went either way. We'll see, though. Or it could have went either way, but it is what it is. Nothing we can really do about it. Last time the Sabres won a Game 7 was in 1997. In the East quarterfinals against the Ottawa Senators. Sabres won that game 3-2 in overtime. They have not won a Game 7 since. Face-off coming up here now in the Sabres. And that's actually their only Game 7 win in their history of their franchise. They have a 1-6 record in Game 7s. That's pretty nuts. Here's Owen Power off the boards to Bowen Byram, who will play it up to center. Zach Benson with speed, breaks it into the zone. Cross-ice pass to Norris. Norris in the corner off the boards. Down low, Dobson battling forward alongside Benson. Benson trying to get that one free. Montreal will take it back. They will play it through center. And dump it down low into the Buffalo zone. This will be an icing. So the winner of this series will take on the Carolina Hurricanes in the Eastern Conference Finals. Game 1 of that series will be on Thursday at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. We will sadly not be live for Game 1. I have a prom that I'm going to. Well, it's my girlfriend's prom, but I got invited, of course. So that's what I'm doing on Thursday. We should be able to be live for game. We might be live for Game 2, though. I thought maybe I wouldn't be, but we might be live for it. We'll see what happens. Here's Texier, cleared back down low into the Montreal zone. Beck Malenstein gets it back for the Sabres. They'll chip it back in on Dobish. He'll just decide to cover it up. As Kotz gets into the zone there. Montreal did not like that, and a little bit of a brawl ensues. Dominic Hasek area? Yeah, I believe that was Hasek, right? Thank you, Bond. Yeah, I mean, I would like, obviously, I want to say I would rather be streaming, but, you know, it's going to be a fun time regardless. Face-off coming up here now in the Montreal zone. They are not wearing their goat heads today. They're wearing their blues. There was a rumor that they were going to wear their blues, or wear their goat heads, but I think if they did, they get fined, which I don't know why. Here's Zucker up top to Samuelsson. Samuelsson shut on, goes behind the net then. Jason Zucker gets it back for the Sabres. Below the line, shut on, goes wide there of Dobish. Samuelsson battling forward with Anderson. Matthias Samuelsson, right side then for Zucker. Zucker will backhand it down low to the corner. Now Carrier battling for it. Montreal will fight for it down low. Newhook fighting with Quinn. Texier will steal it back then for the Habs. They will dump it to center. About 8 minutes gone here in the opening period. It's a 1-0 lead for Montreal. Here's McLeod. He's got some speed. Fires it on. That one goes wide of Dobish. Grab back down low then by Jack-Eye, who will backhand it off the board. Sabres keep it in. McLeod. Cross ice to Timmins. Timmins being held up there by Evans. He'll throw it around the boards. Now Power gets it back. He'll throw it around the boards himself. Dobish will give up then for Gooley on the right side. Caden Gooley through center. Gains the line. He'll dump it down low into the Buffalo end. Thrown back to center. Doan battling for it then with Hudson. Owen Power carries it into the zone. Broken up then by Montreal. It is worth noting the Canadiens have not lost back-to-back games in the postseason so far. Here's Dobson for Hudson. Hudson to Suzuki, who will dump it down low into the Buffalo zone. Metsa off the boards. Backhand on. Saved by UPL. Byram gets it back then for the Sabres. He will move it through center. Thompson into the zone. Drops it back for Josh Norris. Norris fighting with Slavkovsky. Thank you, Sebastian. Here's Dobson meddling forward with Thompson. Stolen back then by Suzuki, who will clear it all the way back into the Buffalo zone. Shots now 6-3 in favor of Montreal. Approaching the halfway mark of the opening period. They did, Spider-Man. They did. Here's Krebs with Greenway. Pass in front. Poke checked away, and the puck will slide back to center. Dahlin will recover it into the neutral zone. Pass ahead then into the zone with speed. Malenstein will dump it around behind the net. Montreal trying to clear it back out to center. Greenway fighting now with Matheson. Malenstein on the right side. He'll fight with Demidov. The puck is tied up in the corner. It's broken up then and free on the right side. Samuelsson back up top, and Krebs can't keep it in. It'll slide back in on UPL. Rasmus Dahlin gets it back then for the Sabres. Dahlin will hold it in his own zone. Pass to center. Buffalo will backhand it down low. In the zone, quite a chance denied there by Jakub Dobish. Battling forward here now on the right side. Owen Power trying to get this one pre. Power fighting with Anderson. Texier, cross ice pass, trying to move it to center. Byram brings it into the zone. Throws it down low. It's stolen back then by Hudson off the boards. Here's Texier. It's a 1-on-2. Texier trying to get around Power. He'll take it around behind the net. He's broken up then by Doan. Philip Deneau plays it down low then. And stolen back by Montreal. Up top is Gooley. He'll try and fire it down low. It's broken up. Gooley, another chance. And that one goes wide. Montreal getting plenty of opportunities here in this opening period. Here's Hudson. At the point up top, Gooley. Down low. Back over to Deneau. Deneau to Gooley. Gooley a shot. Saved there by UPL. Here's Hudson. On the right side. Backhands it down low. Sabres will clear it all the way to center. It's a 2-on-1. It's Doan into the zone. He's got Quinn. Quinn. Backhand on. And that was denied there by Dobish. In the corner. Doan gets it back for the Sabres. Quinn. Below the line. Looks for options now. He'll circle it back up top of the circle. Down low for Timmins. Denied by Dobish. Rebounds there in front. And the puck back down to the corner. McLeod battling forward alongside Doan. Deneau is there battling forward as well. Stolen back then by the Sabres. Samuelson to tuck. And that one goes wide to Dobish. And he will cover up the loose puck that slid right in on him. Some chances there for Buffalo, but they can't get it across the goal line. Montreal still with the only goal in this opening period. Thank you all for tuning in. I appreciate it. Hit that like button down below. Subscribe if you are new. It would be greatly appreciated. Leave a like on the stream as well. Helps out with the engagement and brings more people into the wonderful commentary. We will be live on Wednesday for Game 1 of the Western Conference Finals between the Vegas Golden Knights and the Colorado Avalanche. Really looking forward to that series. That's going to be a fun series to follow. Matheson and Carrier make you obnoxious. I believe it. Congratulations, Goku. Welcome to the club. All right. Canadiens need a 2-goal lead to take control of the game. Yeah. Shots are 8-5 here in favor of Montreal. Happy Monday, everyone. I know Monday's the usually the worst day of the week. Cheer for the Avs, but the truth is my team is 500 in Cup Finals against Montreal. Any guesses? Trying to think. Calgary? Calgary? Are you Calgary, Terry? Because I think you guys have played the Flames twice and you won one and lost one. All right, back here from commercial break in Buffalo. Some chances for the Sabres, but Jakub Dobish is standing tall. Canadiens have the 1-0 lead. Yeah, guys, hit that like button down below. 42 likes already. I appreciate all your guys' support. 8:15 to go in the opening period. It's a 1-0 lead for Montreal. The faceoff is won by the Sabres. Dahlin shot. And that one goes wide, I believe. Caulfield on the right side with Carrier. No penalties yet, Coco. Suzuki. Stolen back by Josh Norris in the Montreal zone. Sabres trying to tie this one up. Here's Norris on the right side. Josh Norris will backhand this one down low to the corner. Benson fighting with Carrier. Carrier gets it back then for Montreal. He'll clear it off the boards. Caulfield trying to play it to center. Stolen back then by the Canadiens. Slavkovsky, it's a one-on-one with Dahlin. Slavkovsky will wait for reinforcements. Caulfield will backhand it down low. Suzuki battling for it then with Samuelson. In front, Caulfield, denied by UPL. Rebounds there, and denied as well. Chipped away by the Sabres. The puck goes out of play. And he threw it straight out of the rink. Immediately, all of a sudden, Cole Caulfield had a wide open opportunity in front. UPL with the save of the game, essentially. But we have a delay of game penalty coming up here. It's against the Sabres as Dahlin, in an effort to clear the puck, he cleared it right out of the zone. And it is now a Montreal power play here in Game 7. Massive save by Ukko-Pekka Luukkonen. Keeps this one a one-goal game, but he'll have to play better. As Montreal will get a power play. Sorry, it was Benson that cleared that puck, not Dahlin. My apologies. Dahlin was the one behind UPL trying to stop a puck from going into the back of the net. Delay of game for Zach Benson, and now a Montreal power play coming up. They've been phenomenal in this series. Suzuki up top, broken up by the Sabres, kept in though by Montreal. McLeod will get it back and clear it back into the Montreal zone. Dobish will give it back then for Hudson. Here's Lane Hudson. Moving it now through center. Caulfield will drop it back to Suzuki. Suzuki to Demidov. Demidov to Suzuki. Cleared around the boards to Slavkovsky. Up top Hudson. Cross-ice pass to Demidov. Ivan Demidov. And his pass was blocked. He's forced back to center. Hudson gets it back for Montreal. He brings it into the zone. Demidov at the point, gets around Malenstein. Down low, Hudson on the right side. Up top, Slavkovsky. Down low, Suzuki below the circle. Waits for options up top. Hudson will hold it now and give it back to Demidov on the bench side. Hudson back up top to Demidov at the top of the right circle. Slavkovsky to Suzuki, a shot. That one was blocked by Caulfield and played back up top. Here's Demidov to the point to Hudson. Lane Hudson gets it back. In the slot, back to Suzuki. Montreal cycling this puck. Hudson, top of the right circle, 40 seconds to go. Suzuki. Montreal just cycling it back and forth. Caulfield at the goal line. Caulfield down low to Suzuki. Suzuki pass over, and right there for the tuck was Slavkovsky. Demidov tripped. And puck will slide back to center. Here's Hudson. Back to Suzuki. Up top then for Slavkovsky. Cross-ice to Boldu, and that one goes wide. 15 seconds to go. It's Hudson. Back to Boldu. Lane Hudson up top looking for options. Hudson a shot. That one goes wide. Here's Suzuki up top. Boldu! He scores! What a shot by Zach Boldu! And Montreal takes a 2-0 lead. Another power play goal, which has been the real difference maker in this series. And this time it comes from Boldu on the second unit. And the Canadiens here early in Game 7 have a 2-0 lead. And eventually, like again, the Sabres just could not get control of that puck. Montreal just moving the puck around. And eventually they were able to get one past Luukkonen. And the Canadiens have now taken a 2-goal lead here early in period number 1. Got to stay out of the box. And I mean, again, I don't really blame that penalty, to be honest. You're trying to clear the puck. Face-off won back by Montreal. Mike Matheson will get it then for the Canadiens. Here's Deneau, who will dump it down low into the Buffalo zone. That puck goes up and out of play. 5:21 remaining here in the opening period. Shots are 11-6 in favor of the Canadiens. And they have a 2-0 lead here in Game 7. Face-off coming up in the Montreal zone. Up top is Dahlin. A shot. That one trickles just wide there of Dobish. Noah Dobson will try and clear it to center. Here's Benson into the zone. Pass up top. Broken up then. Dahlin to the point to Byram. Byram on the right side then to Dahlin. Dahlin will get around Dobson. Fires a shot on. Saved by Dobish. He's in the crease and he is hurt. Dahlin is hurt in the Montreal crease. He can't get it out. Breakaway the other way. It's Texier. 1-0 comes in. And he's just denied by Luukkonen. What a stop by UPL. Oh, if that goal got across, I think it may have been over. Constantinius will take it back then in the Montreal or in the Buffalo zone. He will hold it. Hellenius back to Owen Power. Power back to Bowen Byram. Byram will dump it down low in on Dobish. It's played away then by the Canadiens, who will clear it all the way back to center. Jake Evans dumps it down low into the Sabres end. Power fighting with Newhook. Demidov Trying to play that one up top. Gooley broken up by the Sabres. They'll get it to the way. It's a 2-on-1. It's Zucker into the zone. Zucker dekes in. What a block by Carrier. A huge defensive play. And an icing the other way as the puck slides back into the Buffalo zone. And a face-off coming back in the Montreal end. That was a massive defensive play by Carrier. It was a 2-on-1, and Carrier slid in front of the passing and the shooting lane to block that puck from getting on Dobish. No let up, foot on the gas pedal, yep. That's what it felt like in Game 6. Face-off in the Montreal zone. Tuck is cleared all the way back into the Sabres end. That will be another icing. Or no, it will not be an icing. Ooh, they don't like that. 22 goals in the opening period in this series. It's the second most in a playoff series in the last 30 years. It's a lot of goals in the opening frame, that's for sure. Here's Cole Caulfield. Giving it back then to Lane Hudson. Hudson ahead then for Caulfield. Caulfield will backhand it down low into the Sabres zone. Dahlin gets it back then for Buffalo. Dahlin being tied up there by Slavkovsky. Here's Norris into the Montreal zone, fighting with Slavkovsky. Canadiens will dump it all the way back into the Buffalo zone. What's up, Douglas? Here's Benson. Back in the Montreal end. Oh, backhand one wide of Dobish. Thompson gets it back then for the Sabres. Trying to get around Carrier. Thompson fighting with Carrier. They'll get it back on the right side. Tage Thompson still tied up with Carrier. Now Benson and Bolduc joining on the fun. Finally, Montreal wins it. Carrier off the boards to Matheson, who will dump it all the way back around. Now Timmins fighting with Kirby Dach. Connor Timmins up top for Buffalo. He'll bring it into the zone. Backhands it up to the point then for Thompson. A shot. That one is blocked and played back to center. Tage Thompson will backhand it back down low to the Montreal zone. Dobish will give it up then for Matheson, and Montreal will hold it here in their own end. Here's Matheson. Over then for Carrier, who will dump it down low. Anderson fighting with Byram. Sabres will play it through center. Here's Quinn down the right side. He's knocked down by Gooley. Big hit there. Battling for it on the right side then is Hellenius. Grabbed back then by Josh Anderson. Quinn fighting alongside Texier. Gooley gets it back then for Montreal, and they'll clear it back into the Sabres end. This will be another icing in a minute 46. A little under 2 minutes to play here in this opening period. It is a 2-0 lead for Montreal. The Sabres are showing some pushback, but the question is, will it be enough? Thank you all for tuning in. Hit that like button down below. We're at 52 likes. Hit that subscribe button as well. We are less than 30 subs away from 6,900. 6,900. Face-off won by the Sabres. Byram on the right side, then to Dahlin. A shot. Saved by Dobish without even got on. Anderson will dump this one to center. Carrier. Stolen back then by Bowen Byram. Byram will get it back in the Montreal zone. Doan carries it in. Cross-ice pass to Tuck. Does not have enough oomph on it. Now Doan fighting with Evans. Alex Tuck up top. Dahlin a shot. And that one is denied. Didn't even get it on. Tuck a shot denied there by Dobish as well. Approaching the final minute of play in the opening period. McLeod to Power a shot. That one is tipped wide. Doan will get it behind the net then to McLeod. Ryan McLeod fighting with Matheson. Alex Tuck will give it back then to Hudson. Lane Hudson battling for it down low then with McLeod. Cleared off the boards. Demidov to Newhook. He's hit by Greenway. Evans will get it back. It's a 1-on-1 through center. He'll chip it down low into the Sabres end. Demidov battling for it with Greenway. Grabbed back then by Owen Power. 40 seconds to go here in the opening period. Greenway to Malenstein, and they're offsides. Oh my goodness. We will step aside with 37 seconds to go. They got to get their commercial breaks in. It's a 2-0 lead for Montreal here in the opening frame. Going to turn on my fan. Feeling a little bit hot. There we go. Feeling a little bit hot today. Thank you all for tuning in. I greatly appreciate it. Game is not over yet with the amount of goals that have been scored in this series. We're definitely not done with things yet, but it's not an ideal start to the game again for the Sabres. I mean, again, like, playing from behind is not... Essentially, they're pretty much in the same position they were in Game 6. Sure is hot like Montreal, yeah. Yeah, Habs looking good. They look a lot better than they did in the Game 7 in Round 1. All right. All right, back here in Buffalo, we got about 37 seconds to go here in the opening period. I don't know, 9999. I don't know. They've been playing well. Thank you, Sebastian. I appreciate it, man. Gotta have faith, Danielle, for sure. All right, face-off coming up here now. It's going to be in the neutral zone. Shots are 11-9. Face-off is won by Buffalo. Only the second Game 7 in this postseason so far. Both of them have been with Montreal. Caulfield battling forward then with Dahlin. Grab back then by Zach Benson, who will backhand it down low to Thompson. 15 seconds to go. Caulfield battling forward with Tage Thompson. Trying to get that one loose in the corner. They will hold it against the boards. 5 seconds remaining, and Montreal will take a 2-0 series lead back to the locker room as we conclude the end of period number 1. Yeah, Thomas, they have. It's Vasilevsky, Terry. I got Vazzy, Pasternak, and McDavid up there. End of period number 1. Goals were scored by Philip Deneau, Zachary Bolduc, and it is a 2-0 lead for Montreal. That being said, folks, it is intermission time. Go get a snack. Go get a drink. Do what you got to do. We will be back for period number 2 momentarily. This is the countdown till the second. And, of course, thank you all for tuning in. Hit that like button down below. Subscribe if you're new. We're a little under 30 subs away from 6,900. Thank you, Deoxys. I appreciate it. Yeah, that's what I want to do in the future. This is this has been like my way of practicing that. Practicing my commentary skills in these streams like this. No good for the Sabres. The Habs are tough. They've been in this position before, but they definitely got to come out playing better than they did in that opening period and stay out of the box. Like, even with that delay of a game call, like, it is what it is, but the president still stands. All right. Ready to get hot tamales and Mike and Ike? Ooh. Seems like a good combo. All right. Going to edit a commentary clip. We will be live for Game 1 of the Western Conference Finals between the Vegas Golden Knights and the Buffalo Sabres. So stay tuned for that. That is coming up here on the channel on Wednesday. Tomorrow we will have our series preview for the Eastern Conference Finals. I'm going to do all the work for it tonight and then probably make it tonight too and then post it tomorrow. So stay tuned for that Eastern Conference Finals preview that is coming up on the channel here very, very soon. Sorry for no shorts today. Kind of had a bit of a very interesting day, that's for sure. Thank you, Mr. GG. Thank you, Terry. Appreciate it, man. That's what I try to do, for sure. When players leave Philly, they always succeed, yeah. You're right.
Off the boards then to Josh Anderson, who will backhand it down low into the Montreal zone. And Mike Matheson. Into the Montreal zone. Anderson. Back behind the net to the Texas up top. Cooley, a shot tipped in front. Net to the Texas up top. Cooley, a shot tipped in front.
Trying to time this. We're winning this game and bringing Canes to our house. Okay.
Back behind the net to the Texas up top. Cooley, a shot tipped in front. They score. Tipped in by Philip Deneau. And the Canadiens have opened up.
We'll see if the Sabres can come back, Ben. We'll see.
Here in Buffalo.
All right, perfect. That is updated. Sabres have to get that next goal. If it's 3-0, I'm not feeling another comeback. Yeah, they have to get the next goal for sure. I just don't like their odds if they're going down. If they're down 3-0 again, it's hard to do that 2 times in a row. I'm not saying it's impossible, but all right. Thank you all for tuning in. I appreciate it. Any questions, anything you guys want to talk about, comment them down below. Yeah, Game 7's going to be pretty nuts. This is our fourth Game 7 in Watch with Nordic live commentary history. We had 2 of them last year. We have 2 of them this year. Little fun fact, 1 year ago today was Game 7 between the Maple Leafs and the Panthers. That was Mitch Marner's final playoff game. That was a year ago today. Or Mitch Marner's final game with the Leafs is what I meant. Home ice doesn't mean much in Game 7 anymore. Yeah. I will say this. In the live streams that I've done of Game 7's the home teams are 1-3. Or 1-2, sorry, in the Game 7s I've streamed. Philly is one of the best sweaters outside of the original 6. Yeah, we got some nice sweaters. They're nice because of the nostalgia. Buffalo with their old jerseys are nice too. Mitch Marner was always a great player. Toronto never appreciated him. Look at it now. He's having the best playoff run of his career over in the Western Conference. Many would argue it's just the Western Conference that is causing that. Some would say that it was Toronto. But you can be the judge. This has been a series of comebacks, though, so it's certainly not over yet. I'm just going to tell you that right now. Buffalo came out flat. Yeah, they were a little bit flat to open things up. And it bit them in the ass. Most consecutive games with a first period goal in Canadiens playoff history. They've done it 8 times here in this postseason. You came back and streamed in your tuxedo and everything. Well, if the game was at like 10 p.m., maybe I could pull it off, but the game's at 8 o'clock, so it's not going to be exactly easy for me to do that. It was a cup final game, too? Damn. All right, Philip Deneau with his second goal in the Canadiens uniform here in a commentary. Second goal in a commentary all around. Was it 7 p.m.? Damn. Yeah, the cup final game's usually at 8 for me. All right, period number 2 coming up in about 9.5 minutes or so. As for Marner, he escaped the Leafs curse. That could be true. They're just cursed. Thinking Montreal for the next goal in the second period. Okay. Yeah, we'll see if the Habs can really kind of run away with things here. If they make it 3-0, I think they got it in the bag. In my opinion. All right, perfect. That is all updated. We are good to go. Just had to do that super quickly. Advantages living in the West Coast. Yep. Yeah, we'll see if the Sabres can get one here, though, and respond. I want a close game. I want a close game. I'm tired of all the blowouts in all the Game 7s that I've commentated. I want a close game. But we'll see if we're that lucky. What's up, Chris? How we doing? Think Buffalo is going to come out in the second period and score. Let's go, Buffalo. Yeah, we'll see, Judy Toronto. We shall see. Hope for the best. I'm on the West Coast now. We're still out, so it's a little worse for me. Thank you, Delmer. I appreciate it, brother. Yeah, we've been doing these all postseason long. We've been doing them all season long for the last 2 seasons for all 32 teams. Commentated the Olympics as well. That was fun. And the World Juniors and such. Love commentating. It's my favorite thing to do. And we're going to be live all next year for all 32 teams as well. Even more than we were last year. Already ready for them to release the schedule. I think we start a little bit earlier this year. So I think we start like early September is when the NHL season starts. So I'm excited. From Fort Erie, hope they win. You mean the Sabres? All right. Go Habs. Got fans from from both sides here. Love to see that. Love when it's an even crowd. Shot still 11-9 in favor of Montreal. Got about 5 minutes to go here till the start of period number 2. Already at 2,000 views here on the commentary. Thank you all so much. What does arson mean? Don't care who wins? Fair enough. I'm kind of in that same stage too. Video is blocked in some territories. Isn't that awesome? Where's it blocked? Where's my short that I just posted blocked? So they give me copyright. They're giving me copyright for my one freaking short that I just posted, dude. So you give me copyright for that one, but not copyright for all the other ones? What's up, Michael? How we doing? Good to see you, brother. Michael in the chat sent me a video on Instagram of Mitch Marner scoring the between the legs goal, and then they took Dostal and put him in a coffin and carried him off the ice. So my Hockey 101 vid wanted to ask about face-offs. What are you curious about with face-offs? Yeah, I need to make a new one of those. I need to make a new one of those. I just put that one at the top of my recommended now because of because my 3,000 sub room tour was like a little bit outdated, and I'm just like, let's put something that like everybody can watch, and that's my most popular video. So, what's up, Tim? My final was good. Thankfully, we're all done with it, and I don't have to do anything else. It's a stressful week last week for sure. But yeah, if you guys are curious about anything with like hockey and the rules and stuff, there is a video that is usually pinned to the top of the channel. It's not now because I'm streaming, but when the stream ends, or you can just go look at my most popular video. It's like Hockey 101, the basics. And I've been, had that for a while. 13,000 views, my most viewed video ever. Say Avs over Vegas 4-2. Vegas. Got a lot of comments, people saying that I'm saying it wrong. It's a movie with John Travolta, face-offs. Does home ice have some sort of advantage? On face-offs, I wouldn't say not really. I mean, it depends. Sometimes, teams will play a lot better at home and have that advantage. Some teams benefit from being on the road and maybe aren't as good at home. It really depends. But on face-offs, doesn't really have that much of an impact, I would say. Avs in 4 or 5. Did the World Cup start? Make sure I have enough water for the second. Yeah, I got water. I got enough water. Vegas is a lot of experience. Doubt it's a sweep. Yeah, I don't think it'll be a sweep. I hope it's a close series. I want close hockey. Want Buffalo to win, Goku? Nice. World Cup is in June? Okay. I know it's coming up soon. All right, period number 2 coming up in just a moment, guys. Period number 2 coming up in just a moment. Supposed to go after the puck simultaneously, correct? Yes. Yes, that is correct. What's the beer of choice where you are? Coors Light's really popular here. Alrighty, everyone, let's get ready for the start of period number 2 between the Montreal Canadiens and the Buffalo Sabres here from the KeyBank Center and in Game 7. First period recap, goals were scored by Phillip Danault and Zach Bolduc, making it a 2-0 lead for Montreal after 20 minutes of play. Taking a look at the stats through 20. Shots are 11-9 in favor of Montreal. Faceoffs are 52% in favor of Buffalo. Power plays, Montreal 1 for 1. The Sabres have yet to have a power play tonight. Hits are 14-7 in favor of Montreal. And block shots are 5-2 in favor of Montreal as well. Period number 2 coming up in just a moment. Thank you all for tuning in. Hit that like button down below. Subscribe if you are new. We are about 27 subs away from 6,900. We'd love to hit that here tonight. We're on the push to 7,000 subs by the beginning of June. Hit that like button as well. We're at 69 likes. Nice. Alrighty, period number 2 between the Canadiens and the Sabres here in Game 7. And we are underway. Faceoff is won by Buffalo. They will dump it down low into the zone. Dahlin up top. We'll backhand it down low behind the net then for McLeod. Cleared off the boards to Matthias Samuelsson. A shot on there is blocked by Danault. Here's Tuck up top. Fires one on. It goes wide of Dobish. Behind the net now Samuelsson trying to get it back. He'll fight for it alongside Matheson. Matheson back then to Danault. Cross ice pass to Texier, who will dump it into the Sabres end. Danault in the corner then for Josh Anderson. Battling for it on the right side then with Ryan McLeod. Thank you, Tim. It's important Buffalo gets the first goal here in this second period. If they go down 3-0, I don't like their odds. Here's Tuck. Backhanding it down low then into the Montreal zone. It was not enough. It is an icing. This Game 7 is definitely a lot more different than the first Game 7 Montreal played back in Tampa, which was about 3 weeks ago now at this point. Face-off coming up now in the Buffalo zone. It'll be Suzuki versus McLeod. The face-off is won back then by Montreal. Rasmus Dahlin will chip this one off the board. Now Hudson fighting with Josh Doan. Alex Tuck tried to play it to center. Buffalo will clear it ahead. Here's McLeod into the zone. He's poke-checked away and forced back into the Sabres end. Samuelsson off the boards to center. Dobson trying to get it back. Sabres played ahead. Broken up by Hudson. Grabbed back by the Sabres. It's Norris. Down low to Tuck. Tuck shut on. Saved by Dobish. Cole Caulfield gets it behind the net then for Montreal. Hudson will play off the boards for Slavkovsky. Slavkovsky over to a stickless Noah Dobson, but he will play it back to center. Bowen Byram now in the Buffalo zone. Back over then for Power. Puck is dumped all the way back into the Montreal zone. Tage Thompson gets it back for the Sabres. Down low is Benson. Wraparound chance in front. Broken up there by Montreal. They will dump it down into the Sabres, and that will be an icing. Again, shots in that first period were 11-9 in favor of Montreal. The Canadiens came out hot in the opening period. Face-off here now in the Montreal zone is cleared all the way back into the Sabres end. Buffalo will play it to center. Power trying to get it down low. Broken up by Montreal. Dobson nearly got it ahead. Stolen back to my Power on the right side. Byram gains the line. Bowen Byram up top to Lenius. Cross-ice pass into the zone. Zucker is shot. That one goes wide. It's in the crease. Jabbing at that puck is Zucker. Dobish gets it, and he will cover up. The referee blows the whistle. It was right in there on Dobish, but Zucker was jabbing at it. Dobish, I don't think he knew where it was at first. He eventually did get the cover up. Took him a moment, but he did. Byram kicked it off the post, showing the replay here. Oh, man. That wouldn't have counted anyway. It was it would have been a kicking motion. Face off again now in the Montreal zone. It'll be Norris who will lose the draw. Montreal will clear this one back into the Buffalo zone. It'll slide in on UPL, so can't get a face-off. Here's Greenway, who will dump it down low to the Montreal zone. Carrier battling for it in the corner then with Norris. Gooley trying to chip it off the boards. Norris fighting down low. Gooley trying to get it free. Benson is there as well. Sabres want a penalty. They will get one. And we are going to get a Sabres power play here a little under 3 minutes into the second. And it comes off of an interference call down low. And this is a massive opportunity for Buffalo. The Sabres had, I believe, 4 power play goals in Game 6. It's a 4-minute high stick that is under review. Ooh. Benson got him there. This might not be a penalty. Oh, no. This might not be a penalty. Sabres had 4 power play goals in Game 6. It looks like Benson high-sticked his own teammate. They're reviewing this for a double minor for a high stick. I'm going to look at the replay here. Yeah, Benson gets him. Oh, this is not going to be a penalty. Benson gets him up there. This shouldn't take too long. This is coming back, I think. They're going to take this back, I believe. No penalty. Well, that sucks. It was Benson who high-sticked his own teammate. And it results in a no penalty call. The faceoff's going to come outside of the Montreal zone. That is brutal. Sabres went from thinking they had a potential double minor to nothing at all. Face-off won by the Sabres. Here's Dahlin, a slap shot. That one goes wide there with Dobish. Matheson battling for it now with Benson. Mike Matheson gets it back then for Montreal. Chipped off the boards by Evans to center. Newhook. Back over then for Caulfield. Cleared back down low into the Buffalo zone. Dahlin. Back to Samuelson. Matthias Samuelson off the boards to Benson, who will play at the center. Tage Thompson carries it back into the zone. He's offsides. Less than ideal start to this second period as well for the Sabres. Can't let that happen twice in a row, otherwise someone's head's going to fall. Yep. Shots 12-11 in favor of Montreal. Sabres need an answer here. Thank you all for tuning in. Hit that like button down below. Subscribe if you're new. Face-off outside of the Montreal zone is won back by Buffalo. Metsa will dump it down low into the Montreal zone. McLeod battling for it then with Dobson. Here's Dona's shot. Saved there by Dobish. Montreal gets it back. They will dump it to center. Byron back to Boldu. Boldu into the zone. Fires it. Saved by UPL. Rebounds there. They jab at that puck, but UPL keeps it out. Great save by Luukkonen. And that's a real important one there. You don't want to go down 3-0. You go down 3-0, I have a bad feeling about the rest of this game. Face-off coming up here now on the Sabres' end. 16:32 to go in this second period. Face-off is a tie-up. They'll jab for that puck. It's grabbed back down low then by Owen Power. Cleared off the board. Sabres will play it to center. Malenstein fighting with Deneau. Trying to get that one free. Texier attempts to get it to center. Suzuki will dump it in. And that is offsides against Montreal. What's up, Skivvies? How we doing? Showing off Zachary Boldu. Was a St. Louis Blue. He was traded to Montreal in the offseason. Puck is cleared back into the Sabres zone. Owen Power gets it back for Buffalo. Played on the right side then for Zach Benson, who moves it through center. Benson carries it into Norris. A shot. Saved by Dobish as it went off his helmet. And back into the neutral zone. Here's Power to Timmins. Timmins to Benson into the zone. Norris being tied up there on the right side by Hudson. Trying to get that one free then is Benson. Stolen back to center. Timmins. Back over then to Tage Thompson. Thompson trying to get around Hudson. Here's Thompson up top. Will fire it down low behind the net then for Zach Boldu. Kapanen ahead to center. Oliver Kapanen back in the lineup here for Montreal. Hudson over then for Matheson. Matheson will gain the line. He'll dump it into the zone. It's blocked. Sabres take it back the other way. It's Zucker. 3-on-2. Pass over. Up top, Hellenius. He loses it. Getting back by Quinn. A shot. And that one is blocked. Quinn. He'll recover. Down low then. Costa Hellenius. Back over to Jack Quinn. Quinn at the point now for Buffalo. Gives it back to Dahlin. A shot. And that one goes wide. Sabres get it back. Hellenius will backhand it down low to the corner. Matheson will pick it up then for Montreal. They will move it through center. Suzuki will dump it down low into the Sabres' end. Matthias Samuelsson battling for it then with Costa Hellenius. Hellenius gets it back then for Buffalo. He will hold it in his own zone. Chipped off the boards to Tuck. Alex Tuck to Rasmus Dahlin. Played ahead then to Ryan McLeod. Costa Hellenius with goals in back-to-back games. Here's McLeod. Through center. Knocked off by Demidov. Good defense by Montreal here in the second period. About 6 minutes gone in the middle frame. Gooley to Jake Evans, who will backhand it down low. Samuelsson will get it back then for the Sabres. Cross-ice pass is broken up. Puck will slide in there just wide of Dobish. McLeod trying to get it over to Doan. It's blocked by Carrier. Alex Tuck gets it back for the Sabres. At the point, Power. And he's offsides. Oh my goodness, dude. Buffalo struggling to get things to go their way. Alex Tuck still without a point here in this series. And Montreal with a 2-0 lead here in the middle frame. Thank you all for tuning in. Yeah, hit that like button, guys. We are at 74 likes. Almost at 100 already. That's nice. Well, getting closer to 100. Definitely a bit of a frustrating period here for Buffalo and a frustrating game all around. They can't find things to go their way. Gotta hope for some magic here. Shots 14-12. Goaltender checks here for both the goaltenders. Ukko-Pekka Luukkonen with an .857 save percentage. He's made 12 saves on 14 shots. Jakub Dobish has stopped all 12 shots that have come his way. Tomorrow we will have our Eastern Conference Finals preview, regardless of whether it is the Canadiens or the Sabres against the Hurricanes. We'll have that preview up tomorrow. Where am I at? I am in Pennsylvania, Charlie. I am in the great state of Pennsylvania. Sometimes it's great. Yeah, so I'm probably going to get done with this game tonight, go make the preview for the for the third round series tomorrow, and upload it around like 2 p.m., I think. 1 or 2 p.m. Maybe I can get 2 videos out tomorrow. I have the day off tomorrow, so see if I can get it done. No problem, Charlie. Thank you. All right. Face-off coming up here now outside of the Montreal zone. The Sabres are putting on the pressure, but they're struggling to get shots on some more. Shots are even at 3 apiece here in this middle frame so far. We're a little over 6 minutes in. Face-off won by Buffalo. Teams are 132-15 with multi-goal leads in Game 7s. That's over the 125-year history of the National Hockey League or so. Was a holiday in Canada today? Yeah. That's right, it was. Enjoyed the day off. If you had the day off. Some people work holidays. I've worked a couple. Face-off in the Montreal zone is cleared back. Mike Matheson will get it and regroup here in the Canadian zone. He'll dump it down low into the Buffalo end. Luukkonen will get it. He will cover up at 13:34. Ukko-Pekka Luukkonen has been the adjustment that Buffalo certainly needed. Even though they are down 2-0, he's played solid. Neither of these 2 goals have really been on him, in my opinion. Winner of this series will take on the rested Carolina Hurricanes. 12 days since the last time they've played. Here's Caulfield, a backhand, saved by UPL. Well, it'll be 12 days when they play the next game. Puck is cleared all the way back into the Buffalo zone. Luukkonen gives it up then for Bowen Byram. Byram here now in the Buffalo zone. He'll clear it off the boards back to center. Puck will slide in on Dobish. He'll play it away then for Hudson. Cleared all the way back to center. Caulfield battling forward with Byram. Power gets it back for Buffalo off the board. Zucker, cross-ice pass. Into the zone then with speed is Norris. He's knocked down to the ground. Norris gets it back in the corner on the right side. Then Quinn. Quinn below the goal line looking for the option. Shot on is off the side of the net. Norris battling forward with Hudson. Hudson trying to get it back for Montreal. Benson back to Norris down low in the corner. Norris trying to get that one free. Suzuki will play it up top. Then Slavkovsky can't clear it. Dahlin will keep it in. That's a great keep in by Dahlin. Here's Norris up top. And Benson was there. Couldn't get it. Now Thompson moves in. Shoots it. And that one deflects. What a play by Dobson. He gets called for a high stick. Not a penalty. Touched the puck with a high stick. But that's a great defensive play. Face-off will come in the Montreal zone. Carolina set a record for winning in between series. I believe it. I believe it. What's up, Husky? Greetings from Montreal. Nice. Sure that place is nuts right about now. They haven't shown anything on the ESPN broadcast of what's going on there, but I'm sure it's pretty crazy. Face-off coming up in the Canadiens' end. It is McLeod versus Anderson. Face-off is won back by the Canadiens. Mike Matheson chipped off the boards. The puck will go into the Sabres bench. And that'll result in another whistle. There's Matthias Samuelsson. Yeah, they haven't showed anything of Montreal here on my screen. They haven't shown anything on the ESPN broadcast of Montreal. So, kind of annoying, but whatever. It's in Buffalo, so. Sabres have had more offensive zone time. 7 minutes in total. Montreal's only had about 5 minutes. It'll be Deneau taking the draw against Norris. Couple of face-off violations here. Finally, they get it to go through. Mike Matheson down low in the corner then for Montreal. He'll throw a puck to center. Dahlin gets it back. He'll give it over then for Tage Thompson. Thompson into the zone off the boards for Dahlin. Pass back to Benson. Zach Benson in front. And Norris' shot there was denied. Anderson battling forward with Norris. Montreal will take this puck back. They will get it to center. Deneau will try and dump it down low. He will do so. Here's Benson. In the Sabres end, off the boards to Dahlin, who will dump it down low. Carrier steals it back. And now Anderson on the breakaway. Anderson comes in, fired it up high, and he flies into the net and took it out. Whistle blown dead at 11:33, and now we got some pushing and shoving that is not necessarily friendly. Josh Anderson down on the ice after running into that net. He took it out completely. Never a good thing to run into the net like that. Hopefully he's okay. He fired it up high. He was tripped by, I think Samuelsson tripped him. We'll see. I think he was already falling when Samuelsson did that. But regardless, Anderson goes flying into the net. No penalty on the play. Hopefully Josh Anderson is okay after that sequence. Yeah, I'm watching the ESPN, which I guess that's why they're not showing anything for Montreal, but face-off here is won by Montreal. They will dump it down low into the Buffalo zone. UPL back to Byram. Byram off the boards to Tuck. Dobson battling forward as well. Tuck will get it back then for the Sabres. In the corner, Bowen Byram. Behind the net then for Buffalo. Here's Power. Off the boards. And a cross-ice pass into the zone for Krebs. He's broken up. Puck slides in on Dobish. And he will make the save. Some updates on the Worlds. I know the United States lost to Finland today. Shots now 14-12. Took away a shot there for Montreal. Solid game from Jakub Dobish so far. Face-off in the Montreal zone. Helenius battling for that puck. It's stolen back then by the Canadiens, who will dump it down low into the Sabres zone. Byram battling forward with Suzuki. In front, Caulfield. He's broken up, and the Sabres will take it back the other way. It's a 3-on-2. Helenius loses the puck, and Montreal gets it back. Suzuki through center into the zone now. Gooley pass over, broken up by UPL. Caulfield trying to get that loose puck. Sabres will get it back. They will take it the other way. It's Zucker into the zone. Will dump it around behind the net. Gooley gets it back for Montreal. Off the boards then, Canadiens clear it to center. Caulfield carries it in, shoots it, saved by UPL. The rebound is there, but cleared away. Krebs gets it back for Buffalo, broken up again by Montreal, and they're forced back into their own end. Dobson dumps it down low yet again. Shots are now 16-12. We are approaching the halfway mark of the period in the game. Sabres trying to find an answer here. They haven't had a shot in a while. Here's Malenstein, the Greenway up top. And that one goes wide there with Dobish. Rebound for Malenstein, denied. Up top. Here's Samuelsson, a shot. Saved by Dobish. He doesn't know where the rebound is, but he has it. And a whistle blown dead. 9:46 to go. We are over the midway point here in period number 2. The Canadiens have a 2-0 lead. It's the 203rd Game 7 all time. Thank you all for tuning in. Hit that like button down below. Subscribe if you're new. We are at 87 likes here on the commentary. We're 13 likes away from 100. Hit that like button down below if you're new. What's up, Juan? How we doing? Buffalo must be frustrated, yeah. $20 on Lucky Lindy in the third. Ooh. Still a 2-0 lead for Montreal. No goals so far in this middle frame. Buffalo just needs to get shots on. Struggling to find an answer here against this Montreal defense. The Canadiens, to their credit, have played some really solid structured defense. And that has been the difference maker so far in this game tonight. Crowd here keeps yelling, we eat buffalo wings. I haven't had buffalo wings in forever. It's been a long time. Favorite kind of wing, chat? What are we thinking? Not really a wing guy, I'm not gonna lie. But buffalo wings are probably my favorite, to be honest. Face-off coming up in the Montreal zone. It'll be Norris taking the draw against Evans. They'll kick Norris out. Tage Thompson will come in. But Benson, top of the circle. See if that works out. Thompson now against Evans. Salt and pepper, okay. Now, so many. Montreal keeps changing up their defensive positions. Face-off in the Montreal zone is won by the Canadiens. Thompson back over to Benson. The puck was just tipped, and Montreal will get it back to center. Sabres intercepted, though. Samuelson to Thompson. Malenstein back over then for Benson. Zach Benson back to Rasmus Dahlin, who will clear it off the boards. Puck will slide back into the Montreal zone. Evans off the boards to Matheson. Backhanded off the boards, trying to get it to center. They will get it there. It's Evans who will dump it behind the net of UPL. Sabres still struggling to find an answer here. Samuelson for Benson. Benson carries it into the Montreal zone. Back to Byram. Byram down low then for McLeod. Ryan McLeod, top of the circle, up top to Power. Power waits. He'll give it back for Benson. Benson to Power. Power on the right circle, down low then for McLeod. Canadiens doing a phenomenal job defensively. Shut on there, goes wide. Back up top then to Byram. Byram pass over to McLeod. Matheson gets it back then for Montreal. He will clear it off the boards. Doan gets it back. Here's Josh Doan behind the net then for the Sabres. Doan waits at the point. Up top is Tuck, shot, and that one's blocked. He'll get the rebound, though, and loop it back around. Sabres putting on the pressure. These Habs have been out here for a while. Here's Doan a drive, and that one's blocked. Rebound's there in front, and Tuck to chance is gloved by Dobish. He bails him out. Massive save from Jakub Dobish. When the Habs defense was being hemmed out there, they were out there for nearly 2 minutes. The last line of defense. Finally, they get a shot on. Just like, again, the Canadiens are doing a great job at getting shots from the outside, or, forcing the shots to the outside. How many Game 7s has Montreal played? That's a great question. I'll look it up. John, hang on. Face-off won by Montreal. Gooley on the right side. The Canadiens have played 25 Game 7s in their history. I believe this is their 26th, if that precedent holds true. Suzuki stolen back then by the Sabres. Here's Jason Zucker, who will dump it around behind the net then. Suzuki battling for it in the corner with Quinn. Their record in Game 7s is 16-9. Quinn to Helenius, broken up then by Montreal. Slavkovsky, a backhand pass to Suzuki, who will dump it down low into the Sabres' end. 7.5 minutes to go in the second. Gooley to Caulfield, a shot. That one rings off the post and out of play. 7.5 to go in the second. So, yeah, I believe this is Montreal's 26th Game 7. If I'm correct, this is Buffalo's 7th. Sabres have only won one Game 7 in their franchise's history. Back in 1997. Nearly 30 years ago, in fact. Face-off coming up here now on the Sabres' end. It's one back by Buffalo. Matthias Samuelsson off the boards then to Malenstein. Malenstein ahead then for Krebs. Krebs, he's broken up by Hudson. What a defensive play by Lane Hudson. Krebs up top to Metsa. Metsa a shot. That one goes back down low then for Greenway. Jordan Greenway behind the net. Broken up then by Dobson. Malenstein up top. Stolen back by Montreal. It's kept in the zone though by the Sabres. Good play there. Krebs battling for it down low then with Anderson. He's outplayed off the boards. Now Samuelsson trying to get it back. He still has it up top. Down low then Malenstein. Back over to Krebs. Peyton Krebs behind the net then to Greenway. Greenway up top. Metsa. Back down low behind the net then for Greenway. Here's Malenstein. Right side. Pass up top. Samuelsson. He scores! Matthias Samuelsson from in the slot. And the Sabres are on the board. It's 2-1. Matthias Samuelsson at 6:41 in the second period. Through all of the traffic in front on Jakub Dobiš. Don't look now. It's a one-goal game here in the second. And that is, and again, it comes off of just a lot of traffic in front. Good on Greenway for screening Dobiš. What's up, Jersey Dolphins? No, I haven't really heard anything back. I'm just kind of like it is what it is. At this point, it does suck, but it is what it is. Good to see you, though, bro. It is Matthias Samuelsson with the goal from up top. Shots are 17-15 in favor of Montreal. It's a 2-1 hockey game. Whistle blown dead at 6:41. Due to a face-off violation. Samuelsson, his 4th of the postseason, his 2nd of the series. Sabres now have a Sabres. Sorry. Sabres now make it 2-1. Got some sneezing. We have a game again, yep. All right, face-off here now. At center ice is one back by Montreal, broken up by Benson, who will chip it down low. Into the Montreal end. Canadians will get it back to center. Carrier. Ahead then for Suzuki, who will flip it down low into the Buffalo zone. On the right side, Power. Stolen back by Suzuki. Assist on that goal is Malenstein and Greenway. Thompson in the corner. Boldu off the boards to Power. Here's Benson trying to clear it to center. Buffalo gets it back. It's Byram. Bowen Byram into the zone with speed. Cross ice pass. Benson denied. I think it went wide actually. And the puck is cleared back into the Buffalo zone. Owen Power. This crowd is back and alive again. Sabres carried in. It's Tucker's shot. That one went wide there of Dobiš as well. At the point is Dahlin. Dahlin to Tucker drive. And that one is blocked. Cleared all the way back into the Sabres zone. Here's Dahlin, who will dump it back into the Montreal end. Sabres have had 4 comeback wins in the postseason. That is tied for the most. They had 21 in the regular season. It's not over yet, though. Demidov to Goulet behind the net then for Jake Evans. Evans back to Demidov. Ivan Demidov behind the net then. Evans gets it back for the Canadiens. Up top is Goulet. He'll backhand it down low behind the net then. Demidov fighting with Samuelsson. Dahlin is there as well with Newhook. In the corner, Sabres trying to get it back. Samuelsson fighting with Newhook. Backhanded off the boards then. Under 5 minutes to go in the second. Here's McLeod on the right side. Ryan McLeod will move this one through center off the boards to Tuck. Stolen back then by Montreal. Here's Evans to Caulfield. Fires it. Saved by UPL. And he's got the rebound at 4:31. Less than 5 minutes to go here in this second period. The Sabres are on the board. It's Samuelson from the slot. It's 2-1. Really, Jersey? That's sick. Yeah, the USA has not looked the same, I'm not going to lie. They just do not look good. Thank you all for tuning in. Hit that like button down below. Subscribe if you are new. I would greatly appreciate it. We're at 94 likes on the commentary. We're 23 subs away from 6,900. Got a good crowd today, 260 people. Thank you all for choosing my stream. All right. Canada looks awesome, 3-0. Yeah, they've been doing good in the Worlds. Haven't really watched a lot of it, I'm not gonna lie. I watched the first United States game. Would have loved to have commentated them, but whatever. Hey, Phillies won. What's the difference between a Habs and a tire? I don't know. Tell me the answer. Face off. Here just above the goal line. Dobson will dump it down low. It's offsides against Montreal. Hey, Juan. Thank you for the $2 dono. Thank you so much, Juan. I appreciate it. We're now up to over $1,400 in donations this season. You guys are unreal. Thank you all so much. I really appreciate it. Got a lot of Go Habs Go in the chats. Face-off one back by the Sabres. It's Byram who will chip it off the boards. Broken up then by Montreal. Now Greenway. Clears one all the way back down low to the Montreal zone. About 4 minutes to go here in the second period. Byram in the Buffalo end. Right side then for Timmins. Timmins to Benson. Benson into the zone. Grab back then by Norris, who fights for it on the right side with Caulfield. Thompson will dump it down low. Deneau gets it, Matheson gets it back then for Montreal. He'll give it up then for Carrier. Alex Carrier through center, trying to get it past to Suzuki. It was broken up. Timmins will throw it out of play at 3:40. It was not deflected, or it was deflected. Who won the PWHL today? Trying to see who won. I can't find it. Face off outside of the Sabres end. Winner of this series will take on the Carolina Hurricanes. Face off is cleared back into the Montreal zone. Dobson off the boards back to center. Sabres battling for that puck. Josh Anderson will dump it down low. Behind the net then, Rasmus Dahlin over then for Owen Power. Power, chip back down low. Sabres get it back. Quinn, pass down low for Hellenius. He couldn't get it on his stick. Puck slid back down low to the corner. A little over 3 minutes to go here in the second. Puck slides into the Sabres' end. It is not an icing. Dahlin will dump it off the boards. Here come the Sabres the other way. It's a 3-on-3. Quinn chips it. He'll dump it down low to the Montreal end. Goulet off the boards then. Now Zucker fighting with Carrier. It's grabbed back then by Montreal. Caden Goulet then for Jake Evans. Evans will gain the line and dump it down low into the Sabres zone. Now Byram plays it behind the net then for Malenstein. Malenstein ahead then for Greenway. Greenway cross-ice pass to Samuelson. Samuelson to Krebs. And it's denied there by Dobish. Jordan Greenway in the corner. Greenway fires it. That one goes high and wide down low. Evans on the right side then back to Carrier. Carrier will get it out of the zone for Montreal. Now Demidov trying to play it through center. He'll get it. Fires one on. It goes wide there of UPL. Here's Malenstein back into the Montreal zone. 2 minutes to go in the second. Greenway fighting with Slavkovsky. Stolen back then by Uri Slavkovsky. It's a 3-on-2. Slav into the zone. Gets around. Fires one wide. Up top. Hudson a shot. Saved by UPL. Grabbed back then by Caulfield. Caulfield down low then behind the net. Back up top to Lane Hudson. Stolen back by the Sabres. Power to center. Here's McLeod. It's a 2-on-2. McLeod with Tuck. Alex Tuck. Down low then to McLeod. Dahlin fires it behind the Montreal net. Just barely kept in by Doan. Here's Josh Doan at center. Fires it. That one goes wide. So many shots that are missing the net. Here's Doan to Power. Power to Dahlin. Dahlin a shot. That one goes wide, approaching the last minute of play in the second. Here's Power, fighting with Slavkovsky. Owen Power trying to backhand that one up top. He'll battle for it down low in the corner. McLeod to Tuck. Denied. Rebounds there. Cleared away. Hudson fighting with Caulfield. Caulfield chips it away. Dahlin is waiting there to pick up the loose puck. Here's Doan. Backhanding it down low. It's Tuck. In front. McLeod. Denied by Dobish. And he'll cover up at 49 seconds to go. Chances galore for the Buffalo Sabres, but they can't get one past Jakub Dobish. Thank you all for tuning in. I appreciate it. Hit that like button down below. Subscribe if you're new. Great chance by Ryan McLeod. Tried to bat a puck down from in the air. He could not get it on his stick to get a proper shot on. Face-off, won back by Montreal. Byram battling for it alongside Evans. Byram to Thompson. Norris into the zone. Norris pass up top. Thompson denied. Rebounds there. Jabbing at that puck. It's in the crease. Plenty of bodies squandering for it. And the referee finally blows the whistle. The puck was right there in the crease. But no Sabre could get their stick on it. Oh my goodness. Thompson with a great chance in front. Dobish made the save. Benson was right there on the back door, but couldn't get enough on that puck to get it across. See the replay here. Oh, Benson just couldn't get on his stick. Carrier just standing there trying to block the puck as well. Now a face-off coming up here. Now it's going to be in the Montreal. It'll be Deneau versus Norris. 32 seconds to go. This has been a great period for the Sabres. A great period. Seems like all of KeyBank is on their feet. Face-off is a tie-up. Montreal wins it. Goulet to Evans with 25 to go. They'll dump it down low to the corner. Byram back to Rasmus Dahlin. Dahlin gets it back then for the Sabres. Dahlin to center. Into the zone. Tage Thompson. Thompson carries it in. Fires it. Saved there by Dobish. Thompson up top. Norris jabbing at that puck. Down low in the corner. 5 seconds to go. Thompson waits, trying to carry it in front. Deneau takes it back, and we run out of time here in the second. A phenomenal period by the Sabres. Shots were 11-7. At least they are, 13-7. Montreal holds on despite a goal there from Jordan Greenway. We are through 40 minutes of play. It sets the stage for an incredibly crucial third period coming up here in just a moment. That being said, folks, it is intermission time. Go get a snack. Go get a drink. Do what you got to do. We will be back for period number 3. Potentially the final period of this second round. Momentarily. This is the countdown till the third. Hit that like button down below. Subscribe if you are new. We are less than 20 subs away from 6,900. 304 people in here. You guys are awesome. Thank you all so much for tuning in. We'll step aside here and take a little bit of a break. I am going to head to the bathroom super quickly. I will be right back in just a moment. Alrighty, I have returned. Sorry about that, guys. Had to use the bathroom super quickly. Thank you all for tuning in. I appreciate it. Hit that like button down below. Habs are out of gas. Battle for endurance in the third. Yeah, we'll see what happens. Sabres did a phenomenal job of getting offense on in that second period. What do you mean? I ain't telling you guys my bathroom routine. I just go to the bathroom in the middle of periods. Because I drink a lot of water when I'm doing these, trying to keep the voice all good. Told you it's an outhouse? Yeah, I pee outside. I go outside and I just let it go. I'm joking. I'm joking. I'm joking. Did I wash my hands? I did not. I usually don't, though. I'll be honest with you, I don't. Just to get back to the stream. Usually I do when I'm done, though. Usually when the stream's over, I'll go brush my teeth. I'll go wash my hands. Listening from Thailand. Go Sabres. Nice. Welcome to the stream. Good to see you here. What time is it there? All right. Who won the PWHL? That's what I was trying to find out. Man, I don't need... Let me just go to the... Just go to the official PWHL account. My God, can I press the right buttons? Hello? PWHL. Looks like the Charge won. They forced a game 4, it looks like. All right. Happy with this being done at the end of this period, or do I want free hockey? I want as much hockey as possible. 8:25 a.m. in Thailand. Nice. I want as much hockey as possible. So I wouldn't mind if the Sabres tied it in forced overtime. Why not? Sentence him to a game 8. Yup. Sentence me to a game 8. All right, got about 13 minutes to go here until the start of period number 2. It looks like Jordan Greenway got a tip on that Samuelson goal to make it a 2-1 game for Montreal. So it wasn't Samuelson who had the goal. It was Greenway. Got the kids off to school. Nice. Now you get to watch some hockey, or I guess listen to some hockey. Always amazes me where people watch from. We'll be live Wednesday night for the Western Conference Finals, Game 1 between the Colorado Avalanche and the Vegas Golden Knights. Will be live for that game on Wednesday. All right. All right, so what are we thinking? Do we think that the Sabres are going to tie, or is Montreal going to hold on and they get the series win? What do we think? Did I see the PWHL expanded to Detroit, Vegas, Hamilton? Yeah, San Jose is getting a team too. It's good to see the league growing that much. I am a little bit concerned, though, at like the rate that they're expanding at. Is the league going to be does the league have that much players that can compete, that can like create like a competitive league between all the teams? 12 teams. I think they'll stick at 12 teams for a while, though. That'll probably be where they stop at. All right. Yeah, I'll say this. Montreal definitely needs to bounce back from that second period for sure. Montreal with a quick goal to open up the third. All right. Sabres are not going to stop now. We'll have to see. Wouldn't mind seeing the Sabres tying it. All right, about 10 minutes to go till the start of the third. Get a good pep talk and come out on fire. Yep. They played well in that period, I'll say that. They looked good in that period. All right, my computer is going to die. Oh. All right. Hope the Sabres get back to the way they played in Game 6. They look good in that second, so we'll see. Handling expansion this time around. There's going to be 5 phases in the NHL draft of June 17th. Okay. Yeah, I don't really I follow it, but I don't follow it that closely. Obviously, my main thing is the NHL. I do get questions asking for me to stream PWHL games. So the problem is, though, is that the PWHL streams their games on YouTube. So what is the point for me to commentate it if the game is on YouTube where most fans are going to watch? That's the only issue I really have, to be honest. All right, shots 23-18. Jakub Dobish having a good game, regardless of where this game goes from here. He's had a solid performance tonight. Almost finished up this water. Love hockey. It's plus the games are on YouTube. Yeah, I actually watched a couple of them. I watched Game 2. I watched a little bit of Game 2. All right. Thank you all for tuning in. Hit that like button down below. Subscribe if you are new. Phillies won. Let's go. What time do they play tomorrow? Game 3 was early tonight. Sometimes you can watch them after they air. Yeah, you can. I'm pretty sure they have them up, don't they? Or they should. Yeah, I was doing something before. Otherwise, I probably would have put it on. I enjoy their coverage. Their coverage is good on the of their games. Oh, I guess they don't keep them up. That sucks. If they did, I'm sure people would watch them more. Get water before the third. I got water. I got water. Don't worry. We're good. I've been forgetting to fill up the big jug. I have it next to me. Would I consider doing curling play-by-play? If I knew enough about it, I maybe would. I don't really know a lot about curling, to be honest with you. Thought about doing some baseball, eventually. Only one penalty here in this game. All right, one more commercial break, and we'll get ready for the third period here in Buffalo. We'll do a goaltender check real quick. On the goalie stats, Jakub Dobish, 22 saves on 23 shots. He has a .957. Ukko-Pekka Luukkonen, 16 saves on 18 shots. He has a 887, I think it said. 889. 889. Getting a Blue Chew ad, bro. Hardest thing about doing play-by-play in baseball is keeping awake. After doing hockey, I think you'd fall asleep. No, I'm usually all amped up for these, so I'm usually good afterwards. But yeah, baseball can be boring for some people. I wouldn't do it on this channel. I'd do it on a different channel. I think there is a market there for it, though. For sure. Favorite baseball team? Big Phillies fan right here. Philadelphia Phillies fan. Always talk about it in the streams. Got my Phillies jersey over here next to me. I wear it sometimes in commentaries. Better be the Pirates. Nah, it's Phillies. I don't have a problem with the Pirates, though. I don't have a problem with the Pirates. I like Paul Skeens. I think Sanchez wins the Cy Young, though. Just saying. All right. We got third period coming up in about 2 minutes or so. Drop your predictions in the comment section. Will the Sabres come back and tie the game? Or will Montreal hold on to get the win? Drop your picks down below. Who do you think? Blue Jays fan, baseball is so much more entertaining live than TV. Yeah, for sure. You guys are losing right now. That sucks. Do slow-mo replay for sports. Baseball, we watch. Oh, just took away the comment. Baseball, we watch hockey when the seasons collide. Yeah, I'm like that too. Ohtani's getting the Cy Young. Michael Sanchez is getting it. You're probably right, but one can hope. Canada just have one team, yep. Blue Jays were fun to watch this year, though, too. They were fun to watch on that run to the World Series. Alrighty, everyone, let's get ready for the start of period number 3 between the Buffalo Sabres and the Montreal Canadiens. Second period recap, only one goal in that middle frame, and it was scored by Jordan Greenway to make it a 2-1 game in favor of Montreal after 40 minutes of play. Taking a look at your stats, through 40, shots are 23-18 in favor. Yeah, I know. I know he's winning it, Michael. One can only hope. Shots are 23-18 in favor of Buffalo. Faceoffs are 51% in favor of Montreal. Power plays, Montreal 1 for 1. No power play for the Sabres yet. Hits are 20-14 in favor of Montreal, and block shots are also 15-3 in favor of Montreal. It's a close one here heading into period number 3. A well-rested Carolina Hurricanes are waiting for their opponent. We will see who can pull it off here in this third period. Period number 3 of Game 7 between the Canadiens and the Sabres. And we are underway. Puck is dumped back down low into the Montreal end. Thompson trying to get a shot on Dobish. Broken up then by Jake Evans. Evans backhands it off the boards then. Alex Newhook gives it up then for Demidov, trying to carry that one through center. Buffalo gets it back then. Here's Norris on the right side. A whistle blown dead for an offsides. You're a little over 30 seconds in. Yeah, Ohtani is insane. He's a hell of a baseball player. Jakub Dobish had to make some big saves here tonight. He's done a great job here at keeping this game a 1-goal difference. Face-off here now is won by Montreal. They will dump it down low into the Buffalo zone. In the corner, Suzuki battling with power. It's grabbed back then by Ryan McLeod. Up top, Dobson a shot. That one is blocked. Sabres trying to get it back on the right side. Here is Power. Cross ice to McLeod. Ryan McLeod broken up by Montreal. Trying to get a cross ice pass. Sabres do recover. McLeod will dump it down low into the Montreal zone. Hudson back over then to Noah Dobson. Dobson off the boards to Caulfield, who will backhand this one down low into the Sabres end. Here's Dahlin off the boards to Hellenius. Broken up then by Montreal. Here's Gooley. Clears it to center. On the right side, Hellenius back over to Gooley. Gooley down low, Carrier to Texier. Montreal breaks it into the zone. Josh Anderson tried to fire one on. It went wide of the net. They'll battle for it now down low in the corner. Samuelson was high-sticked, and that will be a penalty. For the first time here in this hockey game tonight, the Sabres are headed to the power play. It's Philip Deneau for a high stick. Samuelson is checking himself to see if he's got some blood. It doesn't look like they'll get the extra 2 minutes. And looking at the replay, this time he does get him up there high. He was almost called for one earlier in the game, but it was actually Benson who high-sticked him. Sorry, Davey. All right, power play coming up for the Sabres. 18:26 to go here in the third. Face-off is won back by Montreal. Newhook will dump it off the boards. Samuelson could not keep that one in. Hey, what's up, man, from Russia? Good to see you. Sabres were 4 for 6 in Game 6. We'll see if they can get one here tonight. Thompson to Doan, who will dump it down low on the right side. Quinn deking around Newhook. Benson on the right side. Zach Benson up top to Dahlin. Dahlin to Thompson. Thompson back to Quinn, a shot. And that one is denied there by Dobish. Here's Dahlin up top to Quinn. Cross ice pass to Thompson. Thompson broken up. And the Habs will force it to center. They will take advantage and bring it back into their own end. And then dump it down low. Luukkonen will give it back to Dahlin. Approaching the halfway mark of the Sabres power play. Dahlin gets around Suzuki. Back down low in the corner. Dahlin trying to get that one loose with Gooley. He'll fight for it here on the right side. Gooley fighting with Zucker. Stolen back then by Montreal. They will dump it down the other way. Here's Alex Tuck. He'll take this one now through center. Tuck dumps it around behind the net. Still looking for his first point in the series. Byram broken up by Montreal. Evans will play it to center. Here's a one-on-one. It's Newhook into the zone. Shorthanded. He'll dump it around behind the Buffalo net. It's grabbed back then by Josh Norris. Here's Norris in the Buffalo end. Gives it up then for Ryan McLeod. McLeod to Tuck. And Montreal will dump it down the other way. This will pretty much do it for the Sabres power play. Buffalo unable to get shots on. They only had one on that man advantage. Great kill for Montreal. Battling for it down low in the corner. Byram fighting alongside Dobson. Bowen Byram trying to get it back then for the Sabres. Mallenstein in the corner fighting with Deneau. Beck Mallenstein behind the net then for Peyton Krebs. Krebs fighting with Dobson. On the right side, Mallenstein clears it around the boards. Back to center. Byram. Back to Power. Owen Power into the zone. Up top, Mallenstein, a shot saved by Dobish. Down low now in the corner. Buffalo trying to get it back. It's Jordan Greenway. Greenway will fire it wide of Dobish. Now Jackeye. Down low in the corner. Back to Suzuki. Up top, Mallenstein, a shot. And that one goes high. Montreal will dump this one back into the Sabres end. This will be an icing at 15:32. What's up, Jackson? How we doing? Thank you all for tuning in. Hit that like button down below. Subscribe if you are new. We got 270 people here in the commentary. Shots 25-18. Montreal needs the bury one here. Yeah. About 4.5 minutes gone in this third period. Sabres are still looking for an answer, but Jakub Dobeš has been pretty darn good. Here's Norris versus Suzuki. Face-off won by Thompson. Thompson to Dahlin. Dahlin at the slot. Fires it. And that was not in front. In the crease. Benson gets it back below the line. Trying to feed it up top. And the puck is in the air. Norris fighting with Dobson. Danault gets it back then for Montreal. He'll dump it the other way. Samuelson. Back to Danault. Philip Danault stolen back then by the Canadiens. Holding it in their own end then is Lane Hutson. Hudson. Off the boards, then Evans. Broken up by the Sabres. Here's Quinn into the zone. Trying to get that one back. Broken up by the Canadiens in the corner. Ivan Demidov on the right side. Evans battling forward with Byram. Doan gets it back for the Sabres. Lane Hudson steals it back for Montreal. Matheson will recover it as well and move it through center. 3-on-2 for the Habs. Matheson, the Newhook, a shot. And that one deflects down low behind the net. Helenius fighting with Demidov off the boards to Quinn. Broken up by Montreal. Demidov to Newhook. Back to Suzuki. Up top, Matheson waits. Shoots it. And that one goes wide. Here's Demidov. Up top to Hudson. Hudson to Matheson. A shot. And that one is blocked. Back down low in the corner. Montreal gets it back. It's Suzuki. Behind the net then for Demidov. Pass up top is broken up by Zucker. It's a 2-on-1 the other way. Helenius into the zone. He's got some room up top. Byram off the post. Quinn will get it back then for the Sabres. Helenius to Byram. And that one is blocked. He'll recover. Now Helenius a drive in the crease. Dobeš with the glove. And he's knocked out by Zucker. Dobeš with the glove reached it as it was sliding to the goal line. And then he got knocked out by Jason Zucker. He is furious. And there is no call. He is absolutely furious right now. Dobeš is, that is. We'll see the replay, and they won't even show it. Okay, cool. The puck was in the crease. Dobeš made the save, and then Zucker runs directly into him. And there was no call. But it doesn't matter. We will stay a 2-1 lead for Montreal here in the third period. Oh, my Lord. He ran right into Dobeš, too. Like, that was... It was pretty blatant, I'm not going to lie. Yeah, Zucker was in... I believe he was in the crease. Dobeš appears to be okay, though, for those who are curious. He does appear to be okay. ESPN sucks, man, I'm telling you, yeah. They showed it, though. They did show it, but not the first one. Do the Canes steamroll whoever wins this game, too? I think they beat whoever wins this game. It may not be a sweep, but still. All right, 13:47 to go here in the third period. Dobeš was outraged by there not being a call on that play. Jakub Dobeš has been phenomenal in this game and made a massive save at the crease. He was ran into by Zucker, and there was no call. And he was pissed. Face-off coming up in the Montreal zone. The Sabres leading 3-0 in shots. Mike Matheson had a shot off the post. Canadiens only have one shot in the last 16 minutes and 41 seconds. Tuck a shot. That one goes wide to Dobish and out of play. Sabres are right there. But Jakub Dobish is playing phenomenal. Another face-off coming in the Montreal end. We will sadly not be live for Game 1 of the Eastern Conference Finals. I have prom. Would love to stream it, but I have prom, so I will not be live for Game 1 of the Eastern Conference Finals. I might be live for Game 2. I might not be. I'll let you guys know. Here's Power at the point. Back down low. Dahlin! He scores! Posted in! Rasmus Dahlin! And we are tied in Game 7. The Sabres have come back again and have tied it up at 2 apiece. Rasmus Dahlin, who had the opening goal in Game 6, off the top corner of the post. It's Dahlin's 4th of the postseason from Power and McLeod. And folks, we have a tie game here with 13.5 minutes to go in Game 7. The Sabres have controlled everything here in the last period and a half, I'd say. Samuelsson off the boards. Puck will slide back into the Montreal zone. Mike Matheson now will get it to center. Sabres pick it back up. Samuelsson now behind the Buffalo net. Battling forward with Slavkovsky over then to Rasmus Dahlin. Dahlin to Thompson. Broken up then by Montreal. Canadiens will play it through center. Cole Caulfield. Up top to Slavkovsky. Fires it. And that one goes wide there. UPL and out of play. Yeah, Montreal definitely needs to start getting some shots on. They only have one shot in the last 17 minutes of play. Got to get shots on. You've blown a 2-0 lead. Got to play better. Thank you all for tuning in. Hit that like button down below. Please subscribe if you are new. We are now 14 subs away from 6,900. Face-off here is one back by Montreal. Hudson fires one on. It's blocked. Puck will slide all the way back into the Montreal end. The Sabres have tied up the game here at 2 apiece. Noah Dobson in the Montreal end will clear this back to center. Texier moves it back into the Sabres end. Texier up top to Lane Hudson. Hudson up top. Here's Dobson. That one is denied. Dobson back up top. Gains control. Pass over then for Deneau. He fires one on. Deflected. Saved by UPL. Rebound in the corner. Quinn. Ahead then for Hellenius. It's a 3-on-3. Zucker gains the zone. Hellenius fires it. Saved by Dobish. He pushed it away. Montreal trying to clear. Timmins broken up. Here's Deneau. He'll dump it down low in on UPL. He'll make the save and cover it up. 11:53 left to go in the third period. Rasmus Dahlin, the captain, with the game-tying goal. Oh, my Lord. It is pandemonium here in Buffalo. This is a loud crowd. Here's McLeod versus Newhook. Face-off won by the Sabres. Timmins fighting with Demidov. On the right side, Gooley back down low then for Samuelsson. Here's Tuck. 2-on-2 now through center. Tuck will dump it down low into the Montreal zone. Dobish will clear it off the boards. At the point, McLeod Right side, Timmins a shot. Saved by Dobish. Here's Samuelson. Below the goal line, battling for it with Evans. In the corner, Doan trying to get a pass in front. Cleared back up top. Timmins, right side. Ryan McLeod gets it back. McLeod below the goal line. Battling for it with Demidov. Stolen back then by Jake Evans. Sabres keep it in the zone. Poke checked away. But waiting for it is Timmins. He will bank it off the boards. McLeod will try and dump it down low. Canadiens take it back swiftly. But they'll regroup in their own end. Both teams playing incredibly conservative. Montreal gets it back in their own zone. Matheson. Off the boards. Dahlin. To Benson. Zach Benson carries it into the zone. Will backhand it down low to the corner. Battling for it then is Dobson. On the right side, Suzuki battling for it. Canadiens will get it back to center. Dobson for Suzuki. Into the zone, top of the circle. Looping it back around, up top then Matheson. Cross ice to Dobson. Dobson down low to Slavkovsky. A shot, save is there, it's in the crease. Luukkonen gets it, and he will cover up at 10-16. Approaching the halfway mark of the third period in Game 7, we are tied. There has only been one team who has had multi-goal comebacks in Games 6 and 7 of a series. And that was the Red Wings back in 1950. If the Sabres can pull it off tonight, they will become the second team ever to do so. Face-off in the Sabres' end is won back by Buffalo. Byram off the boards to Greenway, who will clear it back to center. Here's a 2-on-2. It's Mallenstein. Backhand pass is broken up. Battling for it then is Krebs. Peyton Krebs down low, up top, shot on Byram. Saved by Dobish in the crease. But the referee blew the whistle as Mallenstein tucked it into the back of the net. The puck trickled through Dobish, but the whistle was blown. Greenway tucked it into the back of the net. The referee thought Dobish had it. He blew the whistle before Mallenstein could do so. I'm sure they're going to look at this. Referee blew the whistle before Mallenstein tucked it in. Yeah, that's not going to count. Referee blew the whistle before Mallenstein tucked it in. We will step aside here in Game 7. Thank you all for tuning in. I appreciate it. Hit that like button down below. Please subscribe if you are new as well. We have about 400 people here in the commentary. Thank you all so much for tuning in. I greatly appreciate it. We will be live on Wednesday for Game 1 of the Western Conference Finals between the Golden Knights and the Avalanche. We will sadly not be live for Game 1 of the Eastern Conference Finals. I have something going on that day. Why blow the whistle now, but not when Dobish got hit? They did blow the whistle, but Zucker ran into him after. I don't know if he ran into him after the whistle, actually. Montreal, the better team early, but seemingly losing it. Yeah, the Sabres have the advantage. Yeah, just like Game 6, yep. Tage time? I don't know. We'll see. Need a goal from Alex Tuch. Tuch has no points in this series. You need Tuch to start converging. Does really feel like deja vu for Montreal a good bit here. Shots 29-19. Shots are 7-1 in favor of Buffalo in this second period. Again, Montreal was just unbelievable in the opening period of Game 6. And then it was all Sabres from there. All right. Shots are 30-29 in favor of the Sabres. Face-off in the Montreal end is won by the Habs. Newhook will dump it to center. Cleared back into the Buffalo zone. Dahlin back up top. Thompson cannot get his stick on it. Icing. As the puck slides back into the Montreal zone. Face off in the Sabres end. Face-off coming up here now in the Sabres end. It'll be Norris versus Evans. The face-off is won by the Sabres. Rasmus Dahlin will dump it off the boards. Back to center, Carrier. Back over then for Demidov. Demidov to Evans, who will fire it down low. Here's Dahlin. Carries it up top. Matheson gets it back then for the Sabres. Or for the Canadiens, sorry. Demidov up top. Evans a shot. Saved by UPL. Malenstein trying to clear it to center. He will get it there. Evans battling forward with Norris. Jake Evans brings it back in. Here's Newhook, who scored the series-winning goal against Tampa. Benson trying to chip it away. Newhook got it back in front. He'll fire one on. It goes wide there at UPL. Up top, Gooley. Pass in front is blocked. Norris gets it back then for the Sabres. He will carry it to center. He's all alone. He'll just dump it down low. As Buffalo got a line change off there. Battling forward on the right side then. Lane Hudson will take it back for the Canadiens. Less than 9 minutes to go in regulation. McLeod for Tuck, who will dump it down low into the Montreal zone. Lane Hudson gets it back behind the net then. Tuck up top. Byram at the point. Bowen Byram comes in. Backhand on. That one goes up and out of play. These defensemen, man, on Buffalo, they got a lot of defensemen who create a lot of offense. Samuelson nearly had the goal in the first period. It was tipped by Greenway, but he did initiate the shot. And then Dahlin with the game-tying goal. We have 425 people in here. Thank you all so much for tuning in. Hit that subscribe button down below if you're new. Face-off is won back by Montreal. Canadiens will clear it off the boards back to center. Owen Power in the Buffalo end. Cross-ice pass to Quinn will deflect back into the Montreal zone. It will not be an icing. Deneau battling for Zucker in front. Big save by Dobish on the rookie Consta Helenius. Massive save by Jakub Dobish to keep this game tied. Thank you, Delmer. I appreciate it, brother. Doing the best I can. Let's go, Sabres. Go get the lead. Yeah, we'll see, Charles. Face-off in the Montreal zone, won by the Canadiens. They will dump this one to center. Dahlin off the boards. Deneau. Stolen back then by Buffalo. Samuelson off the boards is broken up then by the Canadiens. Here's Matheson. Back over then for Carrier. Alex Carrier then down low for Matheson, who will hold it in the Montreal end and look for options. Mike Matheson. Through center, Slavkovsky will backhand it down low into the Buffalo zone. Behind the net, then in front for Caulfield, broken up then. Hudson up top. Here's Dobson back to Suzuki. Montreal getting some pressure. Hudson a shot. That one is blocked through the crease and wide. Sabres trying to get it back. Krebs battling forward then with Suzuki. Timmins fighting with Evans. Peyton Krebs is there as well. It's a 5-man battle for it. Sabres will win it. Here they come the other way. It's Greenway through center. Cleared back down low into the Montreal zone. Malenstein fighting with Hudson. Big tie up there in the corner. Hudson battling forward with Malenstein. Krebs off the boards up top to Samuelson. Samuelson a shot. That one went just wide of Dobish. Here's Byram on the right side. Broken up then by Montreal. Hudson will get it to center. Slavkovsky then back for Tage Thompson. Poke checked away. Montreal will get it back and regroup in their own end. Here's Hudson to Newhook. Newhook into the zone. Fires it. He fanned on the puck. Rebounds there in front. Cleared away at the last moment. Evans to Carrier. A shot tipped. And just wide there. It slides in on UPL. He will cover up. A little over 6 minutes to go here in regulation. Drop your picks down below. Who's going to get that game-winning goal? Who's going to win this one tonight? Will it be the Sabres? Will it be the Canadiens? Will it be in regulation or OT? Face-off coming up in the Buffalo end. Sabres outshooting Montreal 8-2 here in this third period. Cleared all the way back to center. Doan battling forward with Gooley. Grab back by Demidov on the right side. Tuck battling forward here as well. Cleared all the way back into the Montreal zone. Noah Dobson gets it back then for the Canadiens. He'll hold it in the Montreal end. Into the zone. Poke checked away there was Evans. Grab back by Gooley. Gooley will dump it down low. Here's Power to Byram. Back then for Anderson. Anderson to Texier. Alex Texier with potentially the series on his stick. He'll give it back for Deneau. Deneau looking. Will take it around behind the net then. Up top to Matheson. He'll fire it down low behind the net. Grab back by Carrier. On the right side, Tuck now battling for it. Up top, here's McLeod. Ryan McLeod through center. He's got some room. Into the zone, waits top of the circle. Up top, Dahlin dekes in. Fires it, saved by Dobish. He got it in the chest, and he'll cover up. Just over 5 minutes to go in the third period. The Sabres have stormed back from down 2-0 and have tied this one up here in a series-clinching Game 7. Thank you all for tuning in. I appreciate it. Hit that like button down below. Subscribe if you are new. We are 13 subs away from 6,900. Thank you all so much for your support. We're at 500 people in the commentary. That is awesome. What a series. I read about that, JP. This has been phenomenal. What a series. Hard to score with no shots. Yeah. Sabres have just been hemming Montreal. It's been nuts. We're at 137 likes. Awesome. What's up, Christine? How we doing? We'll be live on Wednesday for Game 1 of the Western Conference Finals. The series preview for the Eastern Conference Final, whether or not it is Montreal or Buffalo facing off against the Hurricanes. That video will upload tomorrow around probably 2 p.m. I'm going to try and get it out as. Thank you, Kimberly. I appreciate it. Try my best. On the edge of your seat commentary. You read about that? What's up, New Blaze? How we doing? 2-1 lead, or sorry, 2-2 hockey game here. Late in the third period, we're at next goal wins territory. This place is loud in Buffalo. What's up, Jewel? Go Flyers. Face-off one in the Montreal zone. We got a hell of a game here, folks. Benson battling forward with Carrier. Benson battling forward in the corner. Tage Thompson trying to get it down low. Thompson fighting with Carrier. We are tied at 2 apiece. Less than 5. Dahlin, a shot. His stick shatters. Down low in the corner. Thompson wraparound. Nobody was there to tuck the rebound. Here's a 2-on-2 the other way. Slavkovsky with Suzuki. Puck will slide into the Buffalo zone. Battling for it in the corner. Caulfield in front. Backhand goes back down low. Hellenius for Quinn. It's a 2-on-2. Quinn gets around the D. He's knocked down by Hudson. Dobson gets it back for Montreal. Sabres fans want a penalty. They will not get one. Deneau back to Byram. Caulfield battling for it here now on the right side as well. Here's Owen Power. Now 4 minutes to go in the third. Byram to center. 3-on-2. Quinn into the zone. Backhand down low. Demidov picks up the loose puck. Here comes the rookie, Ivan Demidov. 3-on-2 for Montreal. Pass back, broken up by Byram. Evans will recover. Sabres steal it right back. 2-on-4 now. Hellenius will dump it down low. Sabres will get a line change. Carrier in the Montreal end will move this one through center. Carrier will dump it into the Buffalo end. Now Timmins fighting on the right side here. Stolen back by McLeod. Here's Doan. Battling forward with 3 different Canadians. Timmins. Right side to Doan. Doan will dump it down low into the Montreal end. Now Demidov gets it back for the Canadiens. Samuelson. Up top to Tuck. Need a goal from Tuck or something. Here's Dahlina's shot. And that one goes out of play at 3:01. Really need something from Alex Tuck. We've been saying it all series long. .301 to go. Here in regulation. The face-off. One back by Montreal. Hudson will dump it to center. Racing for it as Anderson comes in. Denied by UPL. The puck is cleared away. Josh Anderson got through to defense. And with the series on his stick, he cannot pot it. Here's Thompson. He'll dump it down low behind the net to Benson. Benson. Battling forward with Hudson. Thompson, a shot. Saved by Dobish. Montreal gets it back. 2.5 minutes to go in the third. Texier will dump it down low into the Buffalo zone. Owen Power. Off the boards to Byram. Backhanded down low into the Montreal end. Malenstein fighting with Gooley. Dobson to Suzuki. Suzuki back to Slavkovsky. Slavkovsky battling for it now. 2 minutes to go. A loose puck will slide into the Montreal. Greenway gets it back. Greenway up top. Broken up there. Canadians will try and clear. Sabres keep it in. Here's Malenstein on the right side. McLeod is blocked. Suzuki to Caulfield at center. It's grabbed back then by Buffalo. Here's Bowen Byram. Back to Quinn. Off the boards, Hellenius. To Quinn now in the Montreal zone. Here's Demidov. He'll backhand it off the boards to center. Evans carries it in. He'll fire it down low into the corner. Samuelson. Back for Buffalo. Consta Hellenius here on the right side will dump it into the Montreal end. Approaching the final minute of play in regulation here in Game 7. Carrier will dump it down low into the Buffalo zone. Samuelson battling for it with Evans. Here's Doan through center. McLeod tried to bring that one in. He lost control of the puck. Officially in the final minute. Hudson, right side to Gooley. Gooley will dump it down low. That's an icing at 51 seconds. It has been all Buffalo here in this third period, and honestly, since Montreal scored their second goal on. Shots are 34-22. 51 seconds to go here in regulation. It'll be Suzuki taking the draw. Face-off won by the Sabres. Power up top. Too many Sabres players there to get a shot on. Byram, cross-ice pass. Grabbed back by Montreal. They'll backhand it down low into the Sabres end. Thompson gets it back. Chip back down low into the Montreal end. 35 seconds to go. Matheson battling for it. Then he'll backhand it up top. Texier gets it back for Montreal. 30 seconds to go. Benson to Norris, who will backhand it in. Matheson fighting with Thompson. Thompson behind the net. Battling forward with Matheson down low in the corner. 15 seconds left. Habs will bank it to center. Samuelson with Texier. Texier will dump it down low with 10 to go. Ladies and gentlemen, in Game 7, we are headed to overtime. Oh, my Lord. It was 2-0 Montreal at the end of 20 minutes of play. The Sabres have come back, scoring 2 goals over the next 2 periods. We will get about like 15 minutes or so of intermission time. Go get a snack, go get a drink, do what you got to do. But overtime is coming up here in just a moment. Thank you all for tuning in. We have 680 people in here. That is absolutely insane. Hit that like button down below. Please subscribe if you are new. We've been doing commentaries for all 32 teams during the regular season and into the Stanley Cup playoffs as well. We got free hockey coming up in just a moment. Wow. The winner of this series will face off against the Carolina Hurricanes. Game 1 of that series is on Thursday. But this has been an absolutely insane series. It's been a lot of fun to follow the entire way through. Oh, man. Thank you all for tuning in. I appreciate it. All right. Read some of the comments here while I update the score sheet. Canadians have been very inconsistent scoring. I mean, I'm not going to lie to you. Like, this feels like deja vu. It feels like deja vu in a way because Montreal went off to that early lead in Game 6, and then it was all Buffalo from there. It feels like it's the same narrative. Montreal went up 2-0, and then it's been all Buffalo the rest of the way. All right, drop your overtime predictions in the comment section down below. Who is going to win this overtime? I'm going to pick Montreal. I'm picking Montreal. But knowing me, I jinx everything. So, Sabres fans should be happy that I'm picking Montreal. Thank you, Delmer. I appreciate it. 7,500 views here on this commentary stream. That is awesome. It is the 51st Game 7 to reach sudden death in overtime. Or to reach overtime in NHL history. Going Buffalo with the shots on goal. I have a feeling Montreal is going to catch a break. Even though it's been all Buffalo. But we'll see. We'll see. Maybe I'm wrong. I probably will be wrong. I don't really care who wins. I just want good hockey. Oh, man. Don't matter. Carolina will sweep again. Huh. Potentially. When's the last time there was an overtime? I guess Winnipeg, St. Louis last year, right? When that game went to overtime. Refs are awful. Sabres should have won 3-2. Yeah, sometimes that happens though. Sometimes that does happen though when sometimes the referee blow the whistle too early. It happens. I've seen that before. Sabres got hosed on that why they blow the whistle. Yeah, I mean, it happens sometimes. All right, we got 10 and a half minutes to go to overtime. I'm going to go to the bathroom really quick. I'll be right back in just a moment, guys. All right, I have returned. Sorry about that, guys. I used the bathroom super quick. Hand soap this time for sure. Yes, I used hand soap. All right, got about 8 minutes to go till intermission time, or till intermission time, till the overtime frame. Who's getting the win in OT? What do we think? All right. Hey, John with a $5 dono. Thank you so much, John. I appreciate it, man. Thank you, John. Thank you for the 5. I greatly appreciate it. All right, got 7 minutes to go here in the I'm like bugging right now. All right. It'll be 5-on-5, yes. All right. We got about 5 minutes to go till overtime here in Game 7. Drop your predictions in the comment section down below. Who is going to win Game 7? Drop the player. Who do you guys think? Pick a player to win this overtime. You can pick one from each side, so I'll allow that. I think Montreal is going to get the win. In my opinion, I think they're going to get a break. Wouldn't mind seeing either team win, though. Honestly, I'm just here for the good hockey. I am going to pick Juraj Slafkovsky to get the overtime winner for Montreal. And for Buffalo, I am going with the Alex Tuch, who does not have any points, does not have any goals in this series. But he's going to send the Sabres to the third round, if I were to pick somebody. Pick one from each side. That is fine with me. Oh my God, what is happening? My phone is like losing its mind right now. All right, overtime coming up in just a moment. Hit that like button down below. Subscribe. I know we have 8,000 views on this commentary. That is absolutely nuts. It's probably going to get into the top 10 all time in live commentaries if we go long enough. Montreal's been here before. They obviously won Game 7 back in the first round. Last time the Sabres were in a Game 7 was in 2011. Ironically enough. All right. All right, pick who you think is going to get the dub here in OT. My phone is like literally losing its mind right now. All right, fixed it. Got 500 people in here. Overtime coming up soon. Alrighty, everyone. We are ready for the start of overtime here in Game 7 between the Buffalo Sabres and the Montreal Canadiens. We are back. We are ready to go. It is Game 7. Sudden death. The next goal will clinch the series. We'll do a recap through all the games so far. Montreal made it 2-0. after the opening period. It was Philip Deneau and Zach Bolduc. And since then, the Sabres have been on the warpath. Jordan Greenway scored in the second period to make it a 2-1. And then Dahlin tied the game in the third to tie it up at 2 apiece and send us to overtime. Taking a look at your stats through 60. Shots are 34-22 in favor of the Sabres. Faceoffs are 51% in favor of Montreal. Power plays, Montreal is 1 for 1. Sabres have yet to have a power play here tonight. Hits are 24-19 in favor of Montreal. And block shots are 19-9 in favor of Montreal. Thank you all for tuning in. Hit that like button down below. Subscribe if you're new. Potentially the biggest Watch with Nordic commentary we have had in an NHL-related commentary all time. Drop your prediction for who will score the overtime winner and who will win this game here. But we are getting ready for OT. The KeyBank Center is loud. The winner of this series will face off against the Hurricanes. But first, they got to win it here. Overtime. Coming up here from the KeyBank Center in Game 7. Suzuki versus Norris. And we are underway. Face-off is won by Buffalo. Samuelsson to Dahlin, who will poke check it. Benson off the boards, then Norris carries it into the zone. Mike Matheson trying to backhand that one down low. Carrier fighting on the right side. Uri Slavkovsky, cross-ice pass to Suzuki, broken up by Dahlin. Into the zone, Benson. Stolen back, Norris to Benson, saved by Dobish. The rebound could not be covered up. Here's Benson, behind the net then for Buffalo. Stolen back then by Nick Suzuki, who will play it to center. Cole Caulfield will gain the line. He'll dump it down low into the Buffalo zone. Samuelsson on the right side. Hudson keeps it in then for the Habs. Suzuki to Demidov, and that one goes wide of UPL. Puck will slide back to center. Lane Hudson gets it back for the Habs. Broken up then by Samuelsson, who will backhand this one down low into the Montreal end. Hudson to Jake Evans. Evans down low then for Noah Dobson. Dobson over then. And he'll try and dump it down low. It's a battle for it in the neutral zone. Tuck will get it back for the Sabres. Power trying to poke check it ahead. Owen Power will dump it behind the net then for Bowen Byram, who will bank it off the boards, trying to get that one to center. Stolen back then by the Canadiens. They will dump it into the corner. Power off the boards to Byram. Bowen Byram for Costa Helenius, who will carry it through center. Helenius to Quinn. Jack Quinn battling for it in the Montreal zone with Gouli. It's grabbed back by Carrier. Alex Carrier in the Montreal end. Both teams are being extremely conservative. And it makes sense why. Caden Gouli will dump it down low into the Buffalo zone. It's grabbed back then by Peyton Krebs, who will bank it off the boards to center. Gouli back to Carrier. On the right side, Montreal will dump it down low into the Sabres zone. Dahlin will get it back. It's blown dead. At 17:52, I think it was offsides? Or icing? I'm not sure. Third Game 7 for Buffalo, where they've hosted it at home. The other two have gone to overtime. We got 700 people here in the commentary. Thank you all for tuning in. Face-off won back by the Sabres. Here's Power. Right side for Tuck. Dobson down low then for Texier, who will dump it into the Buffalo zone. Owen Power will get it back then for the Sabres, trying to backhand that one away. It's a five-man battle for it here in the corner. Deneau gets it back for Montreal. Up top, Matheson will get it down low in the crease. Backhand on is slow and able to be picked up by Buffalo. Greenway dumps it to center. Montreal will get it back in their own zone. Matheson for Noah Dobson. Dobson will gain the line. He'll dump it down low. Puck will slide in there on UPL. A weird bounce off the boards. Now Dahlin gets it back. Clears it down the other way. Benson's there at the line. Try to get it back to Thompson. Montreal will steal it back and regroup in their own end. Montreal definitely needs a better period here in overtime than they did in the last handful of minutes. Especially in that second and third, they just were getting hemmed by Buffalo. Really does feel like deja vu of Game 6. Gooley. Down low then for Caulfield. Cole Caulfield fires it around behind the net then to Slavkovsky. Uri Slavkovsky. Stolen back then by Zach Benson, who will carry it through center. 3-on-2, Benson to Norris. He fell on his knees. Battling for it in the corner then is Norris and Gooley. Gooley will win the battle and gives it up then for Hudson. Lane Hudson will hold it down low behind the Montreal net. Shots are 34-22. I believe only one shot in this overtime frame. Cleared back into the Sabres' end. Power gets it back for Buffalo. Stolen back by Montreal. In the corner is Evans. Evans up top. Carrier fires it. And that one chips wide there of UPL. Getting it back is Evans. Pass over. Broken up by Doan. Up top, Carrier. Right side, Demidov. At the point then, Matheson. He'll loop it back around up top. Mike Matheson fires it. That one is blocked. And Demidov is forced back to center. Mike Matheson to Evans, a shot. That one is blocked. No hook a drive. That one goes wide there of UPL. Quinn to center. Racing for it with speed is Doan. Fighting with Evans. It's icing at 15-21. Hey, J-Dub, what's up, bro? You've been waiting forever to figure out who you're playing, man. You're going to have to wait even longer. Thank you for the $8, bro. I appreciate it. We have 800 people here in this commentary. Thank you all so much for tuning in. We're 2 subs away from 6,900. Still tied 2-2 here in this overtime frame. Face-off won by Buffalo. Owen Power will dump it to center. Backhanded down low then by Jack Quinn. It's grabbed back by Noah Dobson in the Montreal end. Dobson off the boards then for Suzuki. Suzuki into the zone. Turnover there. Quinn tried to bring it in. Hudson with a big turnover there. And Helenius gets it back for Buffalo. Helenius into the zone. He'll loop it back around. Up top. Samuelson denied by Dobish. And that one goes up and out of play. Connor Timmins with a shot from up top. He did get it on. Oh, man. Got a close one here, folks. Thank you, Barry. I appreciate it, man. Doing the best I can. Got a great crowd here for this Game 7. Oh, is it 14-14? Sorry, I'm not good at math. My bad, J-Dub. I'm also losing my mind. Thank you all for 6,900. Face-off here out in the Montreal zone is won by the Canadiens. They will dump it to center. Rasmus Dahlin gets it back for the Sabres. Benson on the right side to Norris. It's a 2-on-2. Thompson into the zone. Fires it. His stick shatters. Montreal will take advantage. Deneau to Carrier. Alex Carrier moves it through center. It's a 3-on-2. Anderson a shot. That one goes just wide there of UPL. On the right side, Texier getting it back then for Montreal. In front, Anderson. And he fired that one wide as well. Noah Dobson up top. Looking for options. Shoots one on. It goes wide. About 6 minutes gone in this first overtime. Matheson battling forward with Norris. Norris will get it. He'll bank it off the boards to Thompson. It's a 2-on-1. Thompson with Benson. Thompson comes in. Shot on. Denied by Dobish. Rebound is there. He'll play it up top. Sabres get it back. It's Norris to the point then for Timmins, a shot. And that one goes out of play. Dobish had no stick. It was a Thompson 2-on-1. And he couldn't tuck it in on Jakub Dobish. A massive save to keep this one tied here in OT. I believe you, Bryant. We got 900 people in this commentary. Thank you all so much for tuning in. Face-off coming up here now in the Montreal zone. It's Evans versus McLeod. It's loud here in KeyBank. Shots 35-24. Face-off is a tie-up. Doan. Back to McLeod. McLeod down low for Tuck. Puck slid in there on Dobish. He poked, check it away with a stick. Habs will clear it back into the Buffalo zone. It will not be an icing. Sabres carry it ahead now through center. Tuck into the zone. Broken up then by the Canadiens. They'll battle for it in the corner. McLeod on the right side trying to poke, check it ahead. Here's Doan. Back down low. Will clear it behind the net. Montreal gets it back on the right side. Cleared all the way back down into the Buffalo zone. Pick back up. Here's Zucker. To McLeod on the right side. Fires one on. That one is blocked. Rebounds there for Dahlin. Dahlin top of the circle. Moves in. Shoots it. That one is blocked as well. It's a race for it the other way. UPL will get it in the Buffalo zone. He'll give it over then for Byram, who's being interfered with there by Byfield. Sabres will get it back to center. Here's Quinn. With speed. Poke checked away by the Habs. Dobson will backhand it down low into the Buffalo end. Here's Dahlin. Ahead then for Quinn. He'll dump this one down low into the Montreal zone. Dobson for Matheson. Off the boards, Caulfield chipped all the way back down into the Sabres end. Shots are 35-24. We are about 7.5 minutes gone here in overtime. Connor Timmins off the boards to Lenius. Grabbed back then by Carrier. Carrier on the right side. Slavkovsky trying to backhand this one off the boards. Dobish comes out of his net. Carrier will backhand this one into the Buffalo end. It'll slide it on UPL. Samuelson will play it away. Sabres are coming in waves, but here comes Montreal. It's Evans into the zone. Fires one on. It's blocked. Back down low in the corner then, getting it back. And behind the net, Matthias Samuelson. Samuelson will dump it off the boards and back into the Montreal zone. This will be an icing at 11:42. Oh my goodness. Anybody else just on the edge of their seat right now? I'm sure all of you are. This is an unbelievable hockey game we have here. Face-off coming up here now. It's going to be in the Sabres end. It's won by Buffalo. They will dump it off the boards and back just wide of Dobish for another icing at 11:34. Career high for Rasmus Dahlin in ice time. They're showing that on my screen. 31 minutes. Face-off coming up again now. Off the draw, it's won by Montreal. Lane Hudson up top. Battling forward alongside Krebs. Hudson a shot. That one goes wide there of Luukkonen. Behind the net then is Texier. Alex Texier battling forward in the corner then. Connor Timmins is there as well. Timmins off the boards to Samuelson. Anderson. He's there battling forward as well. Hudson. Behind the net then to Anderson. Texier to Anderson. Waits. Pass in front is broken up. Good defense there by Buffalo. And they will clear it back down the other way. This will be another... Or no, it won't be an icing. Thought it was for a moment. Here's Hudson. He holds it in the Montreal end. Back to Slavkovsky, who will dump it down low into the Buffalo zone. Byram still back. Slavkovsky a shot. That one is blocked. Sabres will take it the other way. It's a 3-on-2. Norris into the zone. He's got Benson and Thompson. Thompson a shot. And that one goes wide. Montreal will get it back to center. Caulfield will gain the line. He will dump it down low. And it's grabbed back by the Sabres. Buffalo off the boards then for Zach Benson. Benson into the zone. He got around Carrier. A great move there. It's broken up, though, by the Habs. Here come the Canadiens into the zone. It's Demidov. Ivan Demidov will loop it back around. Back over then for Noah Dobson. Dobson to Newhook. In the corner, Dahlin back to Evans. Evans below the goal line in the Sabres' end. Here's a shot, and Demidov there at a great chance, and it went just wide. Sabres will dump this one to center halfway through the overtime frame. Buffalo steals it back. They will dump it to center. Getting it back down the right side is Doan. He's broken up there by Matheson. Puck slides in on Dobish. He'll clear it away. Here's Doan. Battling for it then with Matheson. Mike Matheson gets it back then for the Canadiens. He'll dump it off the boards back to center. Evans. Back to Timmins. Power gets it back. Through the neutral zone with speed. Hellenius fires it. And that one goes wide. I think Dobish got a piece of it. Connor Timmins off the boards. Sabres are offside. Hellenius will poke check it down low regardless. Montreal steals it back. The puck slides into the Sabres end for an icing at 9:08. Thank you all for tuning in. Hit that like button down below. Subscribe if you are new. We have 1,000 people here in the chat. You guys are phenomenal. We haven't had that many people in a commentary since Milano Cortina. Wow. Who do you guys think wins this one? It's just back and forth. Shots 35-25. Trying to make sure the shots are updated as much as I can. Sabres are cleaning up the ice. Well, not the Sabres themselves. The ice crew is cleaning up the ice. That is. Thought it was an icing. I guess it might have been offsides or a high stick or something like that. We got 12,000 views here on this commentary. That is absolutely awesome. Thank you all so much for tuning in. If Buffalo hits and Tage hits, you win 870. Damn. Just under 80 subs away from 7,000. You guys are incredible. Never had 1,000 viewers in NHL-related commentary. We did have 1,000 in the Olympics, but obviously not the NHL. The 5th time ever we've had over 1,000 people in here. Face-off is coming in the Montreal zone. The Sabres lead in shots 3-2 in the game and in overtime as well. 9:08 to go in the overtime frame. I think it's 36-25, right? Yeah, 36-24. Face off in the Montreal zone. It is won back by the Sabres. Dahlin shot is gloved up by Dobish at 9:03. Jakub Dobish having himself one hell of a night. 35 saves. All right, Elliot. Thank you for the comment. I'll try my best. I do try and be better with that. Because I know some people don't know all the teams or all the players, not the teams. Face off in the Montreal end is a tie up down low. Benson battling forward alongside Matheson. Thompson a shot. Save there by Dobish again. I'm not sweating that bad. I'm actually feeling okay. I'm doing okay right now, actually. Surprisingly. Surprisingly, I am. $236 likes. Wow. Face off in the Montreal end is one of the Sabres. Dahlin up top. Rasmus Dahlin back over then for Thompson. It's broken up then by the Habs. Here's Carrier through center. Cross ice pass into the zone. Newhook a shot. He scores! Series is over. Alex Newhook with the series clincher. And the Habs move on to round 3. The game-winning goal and the series-winning goal. It's Alex Newhook who ended it in Tampa Bay. And he does it yet again here in Buffalo. And Montreal moves on to round 3. For the first time since 2020-21, or if you want to get technical, 2014-2015, the Montreal Canadiens have advanced to the Eastern Conference Finals, and the stage is set. They will take on the Carolina Hurricanes, and that should be a fun series. Hell of a run for both of these teams. Hell of a game as well. This was a phenomenal hockey game. Jakub Dobeš, phenomenal. 37 saves for Dobeš. He gets all the flowers in the world. Wow. That was absolutely incredible. All right, Montreal has advanced to round 3 of the Stanley Cup playoffs. Our preview of that series will drop tomorrow. Going to make the shorts tonight of the game recap and the Buffalo Sabres elimination TikTok. And then we will prepare for the Eastern Conference Finals, which begin on Thursday. But what a stream and what a game and what a series. This was definitely the best series of the second round for sure. Yeah, I would say so. And it's definitely up there for one of the best in the playoffs also. Thank you all so much for tuning in. 13,000 views is probably what this stream's going to end up around. Thank you all for tuning in. Hit that subscribe button down below. We're 70 subs away from 7,000. We gained some pretty good ground on that. I will see you guys on Wednesday for Game 1 of the Western Conference Finals. What a phenomenal run for Buffalo. Let's just say that first. What a phenomenal run for Buffalo. That was incredible. Sabres were unexpected. We did not think they'd be here right now, but what a phenomenal run for the Buffalo Sabres here in these playoffs. It sadly ends now, but that was a hard-fought series. Thank you all for tuning in. Coverage of the conference finals coming up on Wednesday. And that being said, that'll do it for me. I will see you guys in the next stream.